Baba Akintoye and IGBOHO are the leaders in the struggle. No other leader can give you anything in direction apart from these two individuals. And when information travels down, by the time it gets to us and gets to you, we must continue to update. In the 30th of May, and I believe most of us were expecting that we will go ahead as we have been told with our rally this month. But that does not mean anything if it has not happened yet. Baba Akintoye Solano. Unfortunately, I access the video anymore because, like I said, the World Media YouTube channel seems to be down at the moment. I don't know what the problem is. But I believe the majority of us have listened to Baba Akintoye yesterday when he came out. Soro. And we are grateful to have him alive because he's a man of honor and dignity. Could they see in Baba Akintoye if it's let us not give ourselves out for those that are our enemies. The major part of our enemies are the politicians, Togo Yoruba, and they're not interested in having a country. That's the fact, whether you like it or not. They're not interested. What they want is that Nigeria should still remain one under the fraudulent amalgamation. And that is what Baba Akintoye is trying to challenge. And by challenging that, he has taken us 5 years. But one thing I love about Akintoye and IGBOHO is that they are very determined individuals. Out of all the obstacles Totti face, the biggest obstacle for me is that they are currently in exile. Some of you don't know what it means to be in exile. But the fact that they are still in exile, exile, when we look back in the history of mankind, and when you are fighting for something that is as important, you are likely to be in exile at some point. That's Toba Jekwe warrior part. So going back to a session doubt, boya Baba Akintoye Montonso, or boya by the time Baba Akintoye send message sita, awakawa deliver message yen a Montanso. Baba Jade Lano, láti wá clarify ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn again. Àwọn ìtì jáde wá sọ pé a ṣe Yorùbá nation mọ́. That is number one thing that we must hold very well. Bó bá jẹ́ kí bàbá ti jáde pé a ṣe Yorùbá nation mọ́ o, olúkálùkù máa lọ́lé ẹ̀. Then we can start questioning the man and say maybe he has dementia. Or no, it is Baba Tiwabe. Baba you need dementia and there's nothing wrong with it. Kéèyàn tó lè the stage tí Baba Akintoye dé lálẹ́ tó ń pè ní 90 years old. Kò ń ṣe age kékeré. Age tó jẹ́ pé ó need a lot of support. Àìmọye àwọn tó bàbá tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti weak even in their age. So for the fact that Ọlọ́run ṣì bá wa lọ́rọ̀ ẹni bàbá yẹn ká dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run àtàwọn tó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá pé a ṣì lẹ́ni tí a lè máa point tí Tinubu bá rí gbogbo àwa báyìí nísìn tó bá tẹ̀ ní kankan tó fẹ́ ṣe fún wa bí ìkà tó bá ṣe ìwò ti Baba Akintoye bóyá ó kàn lè wò ó pé the age of the man ẹ má bínú ẹ pé Yorùbá mi is not very good as many people ọjọ́ orí bàbá yẹn but Tinubu lè má tẹ̀wọ́ ọjọ́ orí bàbá yẹn and might probably say he doesn't give a toss. Baba were confused. Mo de fẹ́ káwa náà were confused. Baba ti wo the pros and the cons of báwo la ṣe máa gba country wa before he got involved into this Yoruba nation movement. Pẹ̀lú àwọn tọ́jọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ as cabinet, some of them decided that ọ̀nà tí bàbá yìí fi gbà kò lè work. Àwọn kan wà wọ́n expect pé the reactions of people, àwọn wo ni people, the indigenous people, àwa ìran ọmọ aládé, àwa ọmọ Oòduà, tá à ń pèrè àwa lọ́mọ Yorùbá, and I don't want us to be confused. Pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kan ní Yorùbá, Ilé Ifẹ̀ kan ní kíní, all that is a confusion because, like I said, bàbá yìí ti kọ̀wé kó tó bí púpọ̀ nù wa. My birthday is tomorrow. which is May 31st. It's not the reason why I'm sitting here. Bàbá tí ń kọ̀wé kó tó bí mi ní 1978. Bàbá tí ń draft pé Yoruba people as far back as 1977. Ìwé náà ló padà wá jáde tí èmi wá gbé dání. Wọ́n ì tí bí mi. So ìwọ tí o wá ń disrespect pé bàbá yóò mọ tó ń sọ by giving yourself headache pé bàbá tí wọ́n sọ pé rally tó jẹ́ kó wáyé kò tí wáyé. Bàbá yẹn ọmọ tó ń sọ. Bàbá mọ tó ń sọ. Bàbá kó tó di pé wà involve nínú pé ó change mind ẹ̀ pé Nigeria ò lè work. Ó ti wo gbogbo pros and the cons of Nigeria pé ìlú táwọn fẹ́ jẹ́ kó work ní ìgbà táwọn wà ní Second Republic because Baba was a politician. He was a senator before in Nigeria in the Second Republic. And the fact that politics don't ṣe nígbà yẹn, politics to work and make the country to progress òun ló gbé dání. But àwọn tó jọ ń ṣe politics yẹn níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn tó ń pè ní the North, àwọn ò ṣe anything to make Nigeria to go progression. They were literally doing the opposite. Òun ni kò ṣe ní impact lẹ́nìí. Impact tí kò bá mú jáde, it would have been the Black Africa or whatever they're calling it. But later, kò ṣe báwọn bàbá yìí náà mọ̀ pé Nigeria kọ́ ní Nigeria, it is a Yoruba land. But they were hoping that they can push it forward to achieve something out of it. Pẹ̀lú àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀. Even àwọn Biafra, I've watched a lot of their comment on Baba Awólọ́wọ̀, especially during the Biafra war, because I want to celebrate the Biafra Day lẹ́nìí in terms of their fallen heroes. But the fact that tí kò bá ń ṣe pé Britain kó gbogbo àpapọ̀ in the first place, kò likely pé ogun Biafra máa wáyé, mo fẹ́ ka dìyẹn mú. Kò likely pé a máa ní any relationship ju pé a kò máa gbọ́ pé ìlú kan bẹ níbẹ̀ yẹn tó bá wá wùn wá la máa lọ síbẹ̀. Táwọn bá fẹ́ wá sọ́dọ̀ tiwa, ó máa ní reason tó ṣe fi wá, bóyá torí pé àwa well civilized àbí wọ́n ní kankan tó fẹ́ lò lọ́dọ̀ wa lọ́ ṣe máa wá sọ́dọ̀ wa. So we can continue to put the blame on this and that, but the major blame is Britain. Britain gangan ló dá gbogbo yánbọnyánrin yìí sílẹ̀ ká fi wà ní situation ká tún wà lẹ́nìí. Àwa ní bàbá kan tó ń pè rẹ̀ ní Professor Akintoye tó wá ń sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé after looking at Nigeria and coming to the age táwọn wọ́n délé ní at 90, kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lọ múra sílẹ̀ pé a fi gbára wa sílẹ̀, àdèmá láti gbára wa sílẹ̀. Ọ̀nà tá a máa fi gbára wa sílẹ̀, bàbá àgbàlagbà ní bàbá ò ní fi gbogbo ẹnu bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ tán. Bàbá máa lo òwe, wọ́n ní ìyẹn máa lo a máa fi ìlú, Yorùbá ló máa fi ìlú, a máa fi control ẹni tó ń lead orin yẹn. Táwọn olórin bá wà lórí stage tó ní gàngán bá ń lu gàngán yẹn, á change dynamic yẹn pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ń kọrin gàngán pé eléyìí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kénísìn. Ike tí bàbá ké fún wa pé wọ́n sunkún pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti wà in damage, àwọn olóṣèlú ló dẹ̀ fi accept it. Wọ́n sì fi insist pé it is either their own way or nobody's way. Now bàbá wa sọ fún wa pé it is gonna be our own way. Báwo ló ṣe máa jẹ́ way tiwa? Òun ni pé we will forge ahead and have an independent country. But many people are asking how. Ọ̀nà wo lẹ́ máa gbà bàbá Akintoye? Kí ló máa ṣe tí Yorùbá country máa fi di reality tó ń ṣe dákọ̀ ń sọ lórí social media báyìí? Bàbá kickstart by assembling, putting people together, and we were taken down to the UNPO láti lọ register. UNPO kì í ṣe United Nations. UNPO is a different organization, an independent organization tó yàtọ̀ sí United Nations. United Nations ní àgbájọ àwọn ìlú tí Nàìjíríà náà jẹ́ representative. Nàìjíríà ò bá má jẹ́ representative tí kò bá ṣe pé wọ́n join Nàìjíríà together. Igbo máa wà níbẹ̀, Hausa máa wà níbẹ̀, Yorùbá máa wà níbẹ̀. There might be probably 5 or 6 countries tó máa jáde láti section ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa tó máa wà lábẹ́ United Nations. Tó bá jẹ́ pé a lọ síbi tí wọ́n pè ní 1914 amalgamation, a ní Odùduwà Republic or either Yoruba Nation or Yoruba Kingdom, a ní Biafra, a ní Hausa Kingdom, a ní Ìjọ. These 6 that have been represented in the United Nations, ìyẹn la máa wá work on. Whether this country are now perfect or not, ìyẹn ò ṣe problem anybody. Olùkàlùkù ló máa mọ bó ṣe fi develop agbègbè ẹ̀. But since the Britain ti tọwọ́ bọ́ ti tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa, òun ló ṣe ló represent gbogbo wa as one entity tó ń pè ní Nigeria, tí a fi register Nigeria sí United Nations as a member, because tabalowo ìgbà wo ni Nigeria di member of this same United Nations. Tabalo bèrè pé nígbà wo gan ni Nigeria di member of the United Nations. Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is a member of the United Nations. It was officially admitted ní October 7, 1960. October 1st, 1960, like by independence. Tí kò ṣe original independence, because independence here was something that was forced on everybody and push it to the United Nations. Tó bá jẹ́ pé Britain ò kó gbogbo àpapọ̀ ní 1914, we would be talking about Yoruba ti wà nínú United Nations even before 1960, because àti exist. But tá bá lọ wo ìgbà wo gangan ni wọ́n dá United Nations sílẹ̀. When was United Nations itself, the body? When was UN founded? United Nations. United Nations was founded in 1945. Ìran Yorùbá ti exist before United Nations. United Nations was formed in 1945. So Baba Akintoye tó wá ń sọ history fún wa pé ibi tí Yorùbá wà lẹ́nu ibẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ ló yẹ kó wà, because àwọn olóṣèlú tí wọ́n insist lórí Nàìjíríà. Ìyẹn mo ṣe máa ń sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ táwọn gbé dání Baba Akintoye kàn fi parable sọ̀rọ̀ ni, ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa dìjà gidi nígbà tí ó ń súnmọ́ bọ̀ tásìkò yàn ní pẹ́ mọ́, tí wọ́n bá ti jẹ́ ká yanjú ẹ̀ ní tọmọlúàbí, ó máa dìjà, kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni kankan tó máa stop ìjà yẹn. I will be involved in the fight, you would have to be involved in the fight one way or the other, ó máa affect gbogbo wa. But the fact that a ṣe ń prepare, a ṣe ń galvanize, a ṣe ń mobilize, it is then what we call movement. Ibi tí movement jáde nìyẹn. Now àwọn tó wá ní movement ti pẹ́ jù, kí ló ń dá dúró, kí ló dé tá a lè jáde, àti ready? Yes, we are ready to go out, but n tí bàbá ṣì ń rí èmi ò rí, àwọn nìkan lọ rí, because bàbá yẹn náà ló mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ọ̀dà kò lè gbé wa lọ anywhere. So ká má fi ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì, I'm just coming out to give us pé ká má ti wà too remorse pé ọ̀nà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ kò tí ì ṣẹlẹ̀. That is not going to be the issue. The issue is the final end ta fẹ́ achieve gangan. In ta fẹ́ achieve yẹn ló yẹ kó wà nígbà àyà wa, ló yẹ kó wà lẹ́mìí wa. Àwọn ta fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ náà, àwọn náà ń sáré pé kó má bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn, ó wá di àwa méjì. Bàbá dẹ̀ lọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan lánàá nígbà tó bá gbọ́ wa sọ̀rọ̀ fáwọn tó gbọ́ program yẹn. Like I said, I will play program here because the YouTube channel of the Yoruba World Media is currently down, so I will not be able to use extract from it. But what Baba says is that ẹ̀kọ́ wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ ọ̀fọ̀n bí bàbá ṣàlàyé, ọ̀fọ̀n ni ẹni tó bá ní eku nínú ilé, eku tó ti wọnú ọbẹ̀ tẹ́fẹ́ fi jẹ̀kọ́ yẹn. Àwọn olóṣèlú ní sì ti realize pé the 60 million Yoruba people will take their country out of Nigeria. They already know that. But they're not going to stop what they are doing as well. They will continue to forge ahead, making Nigeria kó ṣì exist. But àwa la fẹ́ stop it. Ọ̀nà tá a dẹ̀ máa fi stop it ni pé we will come out. But the fact that Baba ti sọ pé a máa jáde tẹ́lẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀, this was about 2022-21. Just like bá ṣe mobilize this náà ni Baba sọ nígbà yẹn. I was in that meeting. Tí Baba ti sọ kó tó di pé many things happen, and for whatever reason it did not take place. But this time around it will still take place. No matter when Baba will call the shot, it will happen. Now, how prepared are you and me is what the politicians don't know. Politicians don't know who is going to be who on the day Tabati Jade, because the reactions of the Yoruba people on the time Tabati Jade, they will not be able to stop it and control it. It will become a very difficult task for olóṣèlú. Kò sí bó ṣe lè náà wọ́n fẹ́ protect Nigeria. Nigeria fúnra ẹ̀ máa fall apart, because many things is now showcasing the negative part of Nigeria outside, even though the Western world are still defending Nigeria. And you know why I say that? They are defending Nigeria because tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n join gbogbo àpapọ̀, the case of Simon Ekpa will not be happening in Finland. Adeyinka grandson will not be held in London for whatever offences. People will not be talking to us and say we are secessionists, we are terrorists, we are doing treasonable offence on our ancestral land. Ti Britain wá kó wa lẹ́rú for many years, and after tó kó wa lẹ́rú tán, in conjunction with àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ni, because kò ń ṣe káwọn Britain nìkan ló kó wa lẹ́rú, tàbá kan sọ pé Britain kó wa lẹ́rú, ayé sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Our king were involved in the slave trade. I was in the museum in Liverpool. Our kings, àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá were involved in the slave trade. The fact there remains is that what are we going to do láti resolve gbogbo issue? Are we going to resolve it with election? Are we going to resolve it because Tinubu is there? No. We can resolve it by everybody going back to their own ancestral land. Káwa lọ develop it how we want it and the way we want it to run. But tí olóṣèlú bá insist after tí bàbá ti bẹ gbogbo wọn and the final letter that Baba wrote to Tinubu, and they still want to go ahead and say àwọn fẹ́ Nigeria, then everybody should go and prepare for war. Ogun la fi lọ jà nìyẹn. There's no àní kankan níbẹ̀ kò ilé ìṣòro àfẹlọ́jáde fúnra àlọ́jà ni o àlọ́jà gidi. I am saying this is not from Baba Akintoye or Igboho because I don't want you to misquote me again because some things I will say that àwọn lọ sọ but pé àníjà yẹn ẹ lọ to tread down. The fight to save ourselves is either we do it today or we are cowards and we will never achieve it again. Baba will be with us, but he's not going to be with us for a very long time. Baba ò tún lè rí 90 years ago kankan mọ́ after bá ń parọ́ fúnra wa. À ń bẹ ọdún náà pé kí bàbá yẹn pẹ́ kọ́lọ̀ fún ní 20 years. But the fact is that èmi àti ẹ la máa jàjà yìí o. Èmi àti ẹ la máa jàjà yìí. Àwa tá wà below the 70s. Àwa tó bí ní 1970s. 71, 72, 73. Ṣẹ́ni gbogbo àwọn tó bí ní 1960, àwọn yẹn ti fail wa. They are not going to give you anything. And these are our governors. Gbogbo wọn ló ń gbádùn ayé wọn. They bá lọ gbọ́ age wọn. I gave you their age in one of my broadcasts. Gbogbo wọn yẹn pátá. They are one Nigeria to the core and they will die as one Nigeria just like Obasanjo. But ṣẹ́ra wà tá wà ní 1970. Like I am in my own 1970. I'm 1978 ni. Tomorrow is my birthday. It's either we die to save the next generation or this same set of people will hand us over back to the Western world and we will all have to either be slaves forever or nothing comes out of it. So, ìwọ tó ń wò mí, àtẹ̀mí tó ń wò, àtàjọ ń wòra wa, a lọ múra sílẹ̀ fún ìjà tàbí ìjà because a máa jà ní o, a máa jà gba Yorùbá nation ní kíyàn kọ́kọ́ máa sọ kankan fún yín pé ẹ̀ níjà. We would have to fight to get Yoruba nation. But what they want to do, our Western world will continue to use their gimmicks. Now, I said it from the beginning, if Britain has left us alone, Nnamdi Kanu ní máa wà ní Nigerian court torí pé ilẹ̀ Igbo ló máa wà láti ilẹ̀ kò ní sí reason to agitate fún kankan. Simon Ekpa ní reason láti fi agitate fún kankan just like báwa náà ṣe agitate the affect the country wa. Nobody will be agitated for anything. The reason ta ṣe agitate ni pé for 200 years of the British Empire wọ́n change oríṣiríṣi kan. Ara àwọn nǹkan tó change yẹn ló affect gbogbo wa lẹ́yìn ta fi agitate. Ta fi sọ pé affect the country wa, ó fẹ́ gba Biafra, Hausa náà ó fẹ́ gba tiẹ̀ padà and all this is happening. If everybody has been left the way they are, bí Elédùmarè ṣe dá wọn, a lè máa sọ pé okay, eléyìí perfect, eléyìí perfect, a máa yọ síra wọn. The constitution eléyìí la fẹ́. Níwà under the same bracket, táwa mí síra wa nínú, tó wá ń di issue mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Issue yẹn nísìnyí, àwọn fẹ́ solve pẹ̀lú election Nigeria, kò ṣe solve. Àfi tá a bá parọ́ fúnra wa. You cannot solve this problem because United Nations gan ọ̀dàgbà tó ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. United Nations, like I said, was formed in 1945. Nigeria fúnra rẹ̀ was only into United Nations on the 7th of October 1960. Now, what is the game plan? How is this exit going to happen? Everybody wants to know the details. You cannot know the details because if you know the details, you are going to be defeated. You will be defeated before you get to the front line of your exit. Àwọn kan ti try ẹ̀rí tí wọ́n ní wọn ò ní lọ eventually after a lot of crisis. One of those countries is what we call the Republic of Ireland. Ireland was also fighting the same fight. Báwọn fẹ́ dá dúró. Àwọn fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí country. But Britain never wanted them to gain their independence. A lot of us think that if we continue to speak grammar, ó máa fún wa ní country. If we get it right, ó máa fún wa ní country. We are looking for perfection to get Yoruba nation. We are looking for perfection to get Yoruba nation. No. Because nígbà tó fi wá gba country yẹn náà tó fi sọ di Nigeria, àwọn náà get it right. Kò ṣe pé jọ́kan lọ get it. It was preparation and preparation because a gbọ́ pé Lugard gangan kọ́ ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ amalgamation yẹn. Àwọn kan ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ before Lugard ló wá enforce it in 1914 ní January 1st. But a lot of people during the era as at that time, àwọn kan náà wà tó wà against it, but wọ́n force money. So táwọn kan bá wọn sọ wọn pé you cannot come and be telling millions of Yoruba people that are not ready, even though we know that millions of the Yoruba people are ready for us to exit this contraction. Don't be Nigeria. But one thing is, we are looking for perfection. Perfection is not what we are looking for. We are looking for how we will be formidable to go further and deliver ourselves and remove ourselves and gain back our identity. Because in Toba Timu Nigeria could break identity wa máa padà sí wa lọ́wọ́. Àwọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ the value of that identity wọ́n fẹ́ kó padà sí lọ́wọ́. So that means now we are seeing all these cases. Nnamdi Kanu is in the court. Kí ló ń béèrè fún? Ó ní òun fẹ́ Biafra. Wọ́n ní náà ò lè gba Biafra o because treasonable offence ni. Simon Ekpa àwa náà lè sìn wọ́n lé Baba Akintoye kúrò nílùú wọ́n lé Igboho kúrò nílùú wọ́n ní Igboho wà wanted kí ló wà wanted fún? Ó náà òun fẹ́ dá dúró, òun fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ òun padà lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kóun wà tó jẹ́ pé ilẹ̀ ti bàbá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. All this is something that we must understand. Yoruba nation kì í ṣeré. I keep telling us, we are thinking it's a joke. It is not a joke. It is something that some people and some of us are paying in the heart, that some of us have taken it as a joke. But there will always be infiltrators. During the IRA, when the Ireland wanted to gain their independence from United Kingdom, they were infiltrated, they were almost killed, but one thing is, they never let loose their guard. They remained focused until they achieve their dream. And let's go and see the overview of how Ireland, Tabanda countries, a kò fi ń ṣe àpèjúwe ni báwa ṣe máa gba tiwa yàtọ̀. So tí bàbá bá ní Yorùbá ọmọ Yorùbá ló máa gbáradì, ẹ máa jáde fún rally, wọ́n ní ká ló máa gbáradì náà ni. Tó bá ní May ló máa jáde, tí kò dẹ̀ ti jáde ní May, wọ́n ti sọ fún wa pé kò ní jáde mọ́. One thing is, káṣí ló máa gbáradì. Because níjọ́ tá bá ti jáde tán yẹn, níjọ́ ẹni country wa ti dé o. I don't think some of you understand what this is all about. Ẹ fi pé bóyá rally. No. Our coming now is what we want to gain, how we want to get our country. Ìjáde wa yìí, ìjáde tá fi jáde, òun ló máa determine bá ṣe fi gba country yẹn. And if truly we want to take the country, that means we would have to go out at all cost. No matter how it will be, no matter whether we are ready or we are not ready, no matter whether we have guns, we don't have guns, whether we have bullets, we don't have bullets, whether we have the people, we don't have the people, whether it be my power, Iyama Jewa. I have had people that have called me today. Àwọn òrówó fi ṣe ogun, mo ní no problem. Ìdẹ́bá lè ṣe ni kẹ́ ṣe. Àwọn tó ti ṣe, a máa protect gbogbo àtókù. Àwọn tó bá lè gbàdúrà ń gbàdúrà, ẹni tó bá lè ṣe this. But bóyá kan sọ fún wa pé rally tá fẹ́ lọ ṣe yìí kò ní fún wa ní country wa ẹ̀tútù ẹ̀dá. Rally tá fẹ́ jáde fún yìí, òun ló fẹ́ deliver wa kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. A fẹ́ gbára wa tán pátápátá lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà. And that means it is a big obstacle, not for us, because àwọn ò bẹ̀rù. Ẹni tó ń bẹ̀rù ni ẹni tó mọ tó fẹ́ lọ gbà. Táwa ta mọ ta fẹ́ lọ gbà pé identity wa o, a fẹ́ lọ gbà, ìbẹ̀rù ní sí lọ́dọ̀ wa. Kódà bó tẹ ṣògùn, bó ṣe kankan. Ìbẹ̀rù yẹn ni à ń sọ fún wa pé ká yọ kúrò. Because tá bá ti jáde, no matter what the obstacle tó bá wà lọ́nà, mo ti fi ṣe program in the English format, àwọn kan náà wọ́n gbọ́yìnbó. Elephant tó fẹ́ wá crush àwọn èèyàn ni. Anybody that stays on our lane will be crushed to death. Kò sí àní àní kankan níbẹ̀. But don't let anybody start telling you that ṣe ti gbọ́, ṣe ní kéèsì Simon Ekpa tó ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ti jáde fún terrorism. Ṣe ti ní kéèsì DC, tẹ́ ẹ bá careful, ẹ bá tẹ̀lé wọn, àìtí fẹ́ gba country nìyẹn. Ireland gained independence from the United Kingdom preliminarily through a combination of armed resistance. Wọ́n lo ìbọn gidi. There was a lot of armed resistance. UK lè máa sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé oh ẹ fẹ́ gba country yín, okay no problem. Ṣe níbọn? Níbọn. Okay báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ gbà? A máa gba through diplomacy. Okay yẹn náà dáa. Diplomacy yẹn náà làwa náà fẹ́ kẹ́ fi gbà. But on our own terms and conditions, nígbà táwa bá ti sọ pé a máa release yín. The question now is, how much are you ready to allow Britain to tell you that? And I'll give you what they've said. What is already? Britain ti fún wa ní int yẹn àwa láì tí mọ̀ ní Britain ní ẹ̀ lè gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá until 2075 kẹlẹ́ dúró 50 years. I will be 97 years old. Kò ní dá fún Britain. Kò ní dá fún gbogbo tó ń pè ní àwọn empire wọn tó ń sọ fún wa pé ká lọ dúró de 2075. You will be 97, I will be 97. Tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n bí ẹni 1978 bí èmi náà. Tó bá dẹ̀ bí ẹni below that, you will be 98. The question is, ìwọ tó bí ní 1980, tó bí ní 1990, you are almost the same bracket, tó bí ní 2000. Ṣé wọ́n lè dúró de another 50 years? Nítorí pé Britain fi ṣe satisfy their own interest against interest tiwa even after they remove our identity tí a béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn ní 1914. This is the reason why we are going to have to defend ourselves to remove Nigeria from our territory. Big task like Bedani. No matter how we are prepared, we must still continue to prepare and prepare. Torí tá bá ti jáde, that is the final call. And Baba said it yesterday on the 29th of May that Yoruba Nation Rally has not been called off. And what is up, what they call it off. All they are saying is that they are still going to come out again and tell us when we are coming out. So what don't say, but May last, so when we said May is exactly what they told us. But for now, Baba said he will come back out again and address us again because pressure was up. It is all lies. I will leave some areas for today for Jola, because I don't want us to lose focus. But I have told you that there have been many pressure that have been out there in the last 3 weeks. Pressure, but that is not where I don't want to stand on tonight. My stand is that I'm going with my leader because the love that we have for them and we trust them. If you have the same love and you trust them, all you need to do is just continue to mobilize and prepare your mind to exit this nonsense country. To create power. Britain will create a country. Power created because Britain was created for. All we are asking for now is there is still room. That must be dialogue. But the fact that expect dialogue there is still that little time frame. But I want no shade fuck off. That is the right word they're telling you. Fuck off. This is why we are telling them that. It's either you die because even after we have given all this exposition about Nigeria. Because everybody knows that Nigeria was put together in 1914. Reason. But the fact that àwọn bàbá kan ti sọ fáwọn ọmọ wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ pé nǹkan báyìí là ń jẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ gbogbo palaces ló mọ̀ yẹn tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá àwọn tó bá gbọ́ ẹni kọ́ lọ bá wọn kọ́ lọ bá gbogbo àwọn ọba tó wà ní àdúgbò wọn ní state wọn káwọn ọba wọn sọ fún wọn ṣé bíbá ló ń pè ní Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀ ọdún wọn ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pè ní Nàìjíríà ọba tó bá ti mọ̀ kọ́ jọba yẹn kúrò lórí oyè because ọba gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ tó ń jọba lé lórí kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà ló ń jọba lé lórí ní before 1914 ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ń pè bẹ̀yẹn ilẹ̀ Oòduà ló ń pè bẹ̀yẹn and they cannot continue to deceive us. After we have given all these reasons that ìdí tá a ṣe fẹ́ jáde kúrò ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ṣe torí Fúlàní I keep telling you tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé Fúlàní wà ní gbóyin lẹ́sẹ̀ gba Yorùbá nation you are bloody wasting your time our identity that has been stolen láti fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ gba tá a bá gba identity wa àwọn wúlò tó wà nígbó wa àwọn ẹni tó ń gbé láàrin wa àwọn Ìgbò tó náà fẹ́ máa dà lóru tó fi wá ṣe fake ogun àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń jalè láàrin wa àwọn tá a máa ṣe fún but tá a bá ṣe rí mẹ́fà fẹ́ wà nínú Nàìjíríà àfẹ́kúrò ní Nàìjíríà torí pé Fúlàní àìtí mọ̀ ta fẹ́ nìyẹn. Let's go back and see how Ireland gained their independence from the United Kingdom. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan ṣe very good evening. Ireland gained the independence from the United Kingdom primarily through a combination of armed resistance. Britain mọ̀ pé ìbọn làwọn Ireland fi bá wọn jà àti oríṣiríṣi àdólóró tó ń pè ní bomb. There was also political maneuvering and negotiation. I said it during my broadcast yesterday. A journalist was asking a stupid question from the United States government, Donald Trump. Donald Trump wani torí ẹ̀ bá pé torí orí ò pé ni torí ẹ̀ bá pé wàá mọ̀ pé America ti dẹ́ ohun tó dé bíbá 6 months nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ òun wá lọ gba $14 trillion investment wá sínú America ó wá ń bí òun pé òun gbé tariff lọ sókè òun gbé wá sílẹ̀. The question is, are we still going to negotiate? Yes, there is still room for negotiation. No matter how we are feast, tell me wá pé a máa lọ dàrú ni, there must be room for negotiation. Is there ongoing negotiation right now? The answer is no. Gbogbo ẹni mo fi bá yín sọ, kò sí negotiation láàrin bàbá wa àti federal government. Even though what you collect as Tinubu, that means Tinubu is still adamant, even whether he cares about his health. He will survive before 2027. He will die before 2027. He will be alive till 2031. He doesn't give a fuck about any one of that. Emma Binu, if I'm using this word. That is the way you can understand it. Tinubu doesn't give a monkey about you and me. Tinubu is more concerned about how he can bring himself back to power in 2027, and we will have to challenge that. Because Tinubu kọ́ ló ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò kì í ṣe ilẹ̀ bàbá ńlá Tinubu, ilẹ̀ gbogbo wa lájọ ní. Kọ́ tètè lọ sọ fún Tinubu bẹ́ẹ̀ ìwọ ni kọ́kọ́ lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó bá dẹ̀rọ kóun máa wá lo Nigerian force lé wa lórí things will have to be destroyed and himself will have to run away from Nigeria because ìyẹn ni bàbá Akintoye ṣe sọ fún pé ṣọ́rántí it has been like that before. Tó bá gbàgbé, let me remind Tinubu again in the letter that our leader Professor Akintoye addressed him about why he needs now to negotiate before it is too late. Tí Tinubu bá ní orí òun sán pọ̀ mọ́ àlè lòun òun mú drug òun òfin gbọ́n kan tá à ń sọ á jẹ́ pé àwa àti Tinubu àjọ máa kó sínú ṣòkòtò kan náà Nàìjíríà ò lè ní ẹ̀ system ẹni mi ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tí Tinubu bá rò pé bóyá torí òun ní Nigerian military lọ́wọ́ àbó òun ní Nigerian security lọ́wọ́ ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ security lílé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ Tinubu nìkan. And this is why even during the IRA which are the Ireland nígbà tó fi gbara wọn kúrò even though wọ́n ní ìbọn tó pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ tó fi ń jà pẹ̀lú Britain wọ́n ṣe negotiate o. But one thing is, we can still negotiate only if the politicians want a negotiation between us and them. My question then is, do you, ṣẹ́yìn rò pé Tinubu fi negotiate? As I speak in the 30th of May 2025, aago méjìlá fi lọ́nu at my own zone, time zone. Tinubu is not still ready to negotiate for Yoruba to exit. And this is how Baba Akintoye addressed him at the second part of his letter. And it goes like this. Your Excellency, in your exalted position as the President of Nigeria and a major factor in today's international order, you know very well that self-determination is a right, an inalienable right. Tinubu kì í ṣe Buhari. Tinubu gbé ní UK, ó gbé America, ó kàwé, ó nímọ̀. Kò lè sọ pé wọn mọ̀ tán pé ní self-determination. Kò dẹ̀ lè sọ pé wọn mọ̀ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti exist before Nigeria, because gbogbo wọn lè máa pretend báwọn wọn mọ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé àwa la ṣe máa sọ fún Tinubu. Tinubu wà aware, but Tinubu is also using Nigeria not to enrich himself, to save the agenda of Britain for 2075. Tinubu right now is using Nigeria as part of his own to allow Britain to keep Nigeria to 2075. So ọ̀rọ̀ pé Tinubu fẹ́ di president in 2031 kò ló wà lẹ̀. All what they are doing is what Britain has laid down. Britain has laid down the rules of engagement Nipa Nigeria, just as Britain did put Nigeria together where it is today. So kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ jẹ president, they change the rules of engagement. You will be the president, and you will leave that position, and you will vacate it. That is the arrangement tó wà nílẹ̀. Kò ṣe Tinubu nìkan. It has been like that ever since from Obasanjo, ever since from 1960. The rules of engagement lórí Nigeria ni pé anybody that will control Nigeria will take the order. Ìyẹn ni Baba Akintoye ṣe lo that word. Let's take it back again. International order. Your Excellency, position ẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí president in Nigeria, the major factor in today's international order. Lọ́dọ̀ tiwa, most people that listen to when they're having the prime minister question time, ẹ máa gbọ́ order. Speaker máa sọ fáwọn tó ń pariwo nínú ilé pé order. Ẹgbẹ́ mi dákẹ́. Bí Tinubu bá ṣe pẹ́kẹ́, wá sọ fún ní Britain pé gbogbo ẹnu dákẹ́. Order. Let me give you the full meaning according to the overview, the AI overview, because everything is so good now. It is indirect rule. Bene, Eshegoni. International order refers to the structured relationship and arrangement that govern interaction between actors on the global stage. And tani actor ni say, tani actor tí mo ti dárúkọ látẹ̀kọ́, Britain ni actor. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní nínú movie, actor bá ti kú, kí ló tún? That is the reason why we cannot joke with IGBOHO. We have to protect him round the clock. His protection has to be round the clock with everything. Agbọ́dọ̀ fi media protected. Agbọ́dọ̀ fi spiritual protected. Agbọ́dọ̀ fi owó protected. Agbọ́dọ̀ fi gbogbo nǹkan protected, because tí IGBOHO bá ti kúrò nínú movie, that is the end of the film. Ààrẹ ní kankan tó lè jáde láti ìgbà tí IGBOHO ti wà ní exile tó fi àyà lọ síta pé èmi lọ́mọ Yorùbá tí mò ń lead Yorùbá nation. Ó yẹ ẹ máa bọ̀. Gbogbo àwọn tó náà wọ́n ṣe, gbogbo wa láti rí result wọn. They are working as Nigerian actors but using Yoruba as a gimmick. Àti rẹ̀ tó náà máa wọnú palace ọba, àwọn máa lọ gbé ọba jáde báyìí. Àti rí tó ti káàkiri oríṣiríṣi. Àìtí rí ẹni tó ní àyà tó tó IGBOHO among all the Yorubas. Kò ń ṣe pé kò sí, gbọ́wọ́ jáde. But wọ́n mọ̀ pé tí IGBOHO bá jáde, àwọn àtẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn. That is why everybody is saying, but tí IGBOHO sọ pé rally ń bọ̀. IGBOHO ìtì ní rally máa dé, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Even though they want to know what they are not meant to know. Because everybody knows that IGBOHO is the one that has the key right now. Sọ̀rọ̀ Nigeria, bó ṣe máa pín. Pínpín Nigeria nísìnyí ọwọ́ IGBOHO ló wà. Torí Ọlọ́run ti fún ní that money, ó ti fún ní strength yẹn láti lè lead the movement yìí tí Baba Akintoye jẹ́ leader tiẹ̀. Let's go back. International order. International order refers to the structure, relationship, and arrangement that govern interaction between actors on the global stage, including states like Nigeria, international organizations, and the non-actors. It encompasses the rules and the norms and the institutions that aim to establish a system of predictability and stability in relation international relation kí ni wọ́n try láti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé now púpọ̀ mi ẹ fẹ́ Yorùbá nation but ẹni tá a fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń pè ní Tinubu tí bàbá ń kọ lẹ́tà sí international order ló follow àwa la fẹ́ break international order yẹn because àwa ò follow Britain àwa tá wà lábẹ́ bàbá Akintoye torí tó bá yẹ pé bàbá Akintoye náà follow Britain ni bàbá Akintoye lè jáde kó n fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation tó bá jẹ́ pé bàbá Akintoye náà àtolóyè Ìgbòho tí wọ́n bá follow international order wọ́n tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ máa náà fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation fún wa. Now all the politicians are following the same protocol by using Nigeria that is not in existence before 1914 because the rules of engagement ni pé everybody tó bá ń ṣe pé Nigeria ló ń ṣe tó fi represent Nigerians ó lè dá ṣe fún rẹ ó máa gba order ni àwọn báńkọ mo ti sọ fún yín tí ọba kan bá jáde tó bá sọ fún mi pé òun ò follow the rules of engagement láti Buckingham Palace ó gbọ́dọ̀ lè jáde òun ṣe pé ìtọ́nà máa sọ fún mi pé wọ́n ṣe lábẹ́lẹ̀ they have to come out physically and speak to the world and let the world hear their voice because ancestral home wọn ni àwọn ọlọ́ni ilẹ̀ yẹn ancestral home wọn ni bóyá àwọn baba ńlá wọn kan ti wá ṣe àṣìṣe àtàwọn ìyá ńlá wa kan tó ṣàṣìṣe tó fọ́ọ̀sì ilẹ̀ yẹn fún Britain àmọ́rú àjọṣepọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ in that century àmọ́rú àwọn ètùtù tó ti gbé many things has happened during that era àìmọ̀rí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ti ṣe sílẹ̀ Yorùbá pé okay I protect. Let me give you an example. Why do you think America has a cordial relationship with Saudi Arabia? Who knows? The reason why America continues to support Saudi Arabia is because Saudi Arabia has what America needs. Saudi Arabia will destroy America within 10 seconds. But America assures Saudi pé any day, anytime, we will give you all the protection that you need. But all you have to do is, ṣẹ́rí dọ́là wa ẹ má jẹ́ kó fọ́. Let's maintain the dollar and use that to run the world. And that is why the world now is looking into whether they can continue with the dollarization. It might take some time. Saudi look back at America, lórí ọ̀rọ̀ dollar. I don't want to go into that too much. Let's go back to the letter tí Baba Akintoye kọ. I've given us the background of international order. But àwọn kan náà béèrè, what is an example of international order with a question mark? The World Trade Organization, tó ń pè ní WTO, àwọn olórí burúkú, àwọn tó sọ gbogbo adé bíi táwa lẹ́nu. Because order yẹn sì ń wá látọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn WTO, IMF, World Bank. Ẹ rí i pé nígbà tí Donald Trump dé, America left what they called the WHO. Kí ló dé tí America ṣe fi WHO sílẹ̀? Let me take you back to when Donald Trump, the first part of executive order tí Donald Trump ṣe nígbà tó dé ni pé because America náà take a position pé they are a sovereign state and they can do what they want to do without all this fuckery organization, don't put on organization. Withdrawing, this is coming from the White House website, presidential action. Withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization. The question is, why must we remain in the WHO, don't we need World Health Organization? Withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization by the authority vested in me as the president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. It is hereby ordered. And what that means is that very soon, by the Constitution and the power of the 60 million Yoruba people, we will give Baba Akintoye the mandate to go ahead and declare Yoruba nation when he's going to be ready to do so. Awalama fún Baba Akintoye ní order yẹn, we'll go ahead and declare Yoruba nation so that we can live in Nigeria. But Baba Akintoye gbọ́dọ̀ ti declare Yoruba nation until we push ourselves out on the street and demand to the people that are managing Nigeria on behalf of Britain. Àwọn olóṣèlú ẹ̀ ní sórí ní gbogbo ilá tó kéde lẹ̀. We would leave Nigeria bẹ́fẹ́ bẹ́kọ̀. Ẹni tó bá bí wà bẹ́ẹ̀ dá kó di wa lọ́nà. That is what we're going to do. That is why it's going to be a big fight between us and them. They know what is more the final stage of this game. But wọ́n fi mọ níbo ló fi gbàjáde. Ọjọ́ wo ni kó kìkì bó ti sọ pé may calm down àgbọ̀n kankan mọ́. Ẹ ti back up ni tó ti rẹ̀ yín ni tó ti so yín ni. Because wọ́n mọ̀ pé order Baba Akintoye tó bá ti jáde wọ́n bí bàbá Tinubu dá tó bá sì wà láyé. Kó sọ fún wa pé ká stop. Order ni the same order tí Tinubu ń gbà láti ta àwọn ò ní gba order yẹn because àwa kọ́ ni Britain tí Tinubu fún ní order Tinubu á máa gba order lọ́wọ́ Britain because make sure pé wọ́n disperse gbogbo wa ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yẹn gbogbo bàbá sọ fún yín pé 3 days 3 days is more than enough to shut down the country 72 hours need more than 1 week taba serious ti gbogbo 60 million bá jáde 3 days gbogbo Nigeria máa shut down ní south west kò ní sí nǹkan tó máa rìn tó máa move ìyẹn ni bàbá ṣe sọ nínú broadcast lánàá kó farabalẹ̀ torí pé ẹlòmíì ò kì í gbọ́ràn mẹ́lọ́ máa ní Koiki ló wá sọ ilé bàbá ní kẹ́ lọ múra fúnjọ́ mẹ́ta tó jẹ́ pé tí o lè sọ pé yẹ́sùn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yo nǹkan wà nínú ilé tó lè jẹ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ẹ tó lè mú bí alẹ́yìn ọjọ́ kẹta ilẹ̀ àti dá díẹ̀ atẹ́gùn àti fẹ́ ó lè jẹ́ atẹ́gùn àlàáfíà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló máa ti fẹ́ gbà yẹn àwọn àjàlẹ̀ síta but sọ́rí the first 3 days yẹn á gbóná á máa yọ eruku á máa gbóná á máa yọ eruku. Let's go back to America one more time. President Trump only by the power agbára tó wà lọ́wọ́ òun by the authority vested in me as the president and by the constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. I hope you are now understanding the meaning of that word order. Àwa nísìn la sọ fún bàbá Akintoye pé a ti ready bàbá ẹ fún wa ní ohun yẹn síta. Bàbá náà máa fún yín lóhùn yẹn kò náà wò ní fún yín. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ nípa bàbá yẹn fún wa nísìn. But tí bàbá bá ti fún wa ní ohun yẹn 60 million must defend it o. 60 million Yoruba people yẹn a gbọ́dọ̀ defend the order bàbá Akintoye o. Eléyìí ò ń sọ̀rọ̀ Koiki àrùn jẹjẹ ní bíbá nǹkan no gbogbo yẹn kọ́. We are following that order all the way through every part of Yoruba land because that is the final solution. And I hope the message is getting clearer to those of us that are still in doubt about what is loading. Because what is loading is a big one, and most of you need to know that tonight again. But it's important that we re-emphasize it and tell you. I don't want to go into any other details of what America said in the reason why they left WHO. In Tobamu America, man give order bound for WHO. Baba Akintoye not the right that if one order we are seeing in Nigeria, and that is the final. But Tinubu needs to understand this. That is why Baba Akintoye is giving him his last warning. Warning Baba Akintoye for Tinubu. Your Excellency, in your exalted position as the President of Nigeria and the major factor in today's international order, you know very well, please share this program. If you have not shared it, this is the time to click the share button and go and bring somebody in, because Nigeria will collapse. We, the Yoruba, will be the ones to collapse Nigeria. I'm telling you that. The Biafra will go behind us. They know that. They can't. They know that because they know the power that the Yoruba can do to bring down Nigeria. But the same other part of the Yoruba that are just 1%, don't tell it Tinubu, they think that they can crush the remaining 99%. What if they crush you, I want to say when we come out on the street of Yoruba land. Cut try it. Then I'm not going to Yoruba because the ancestral land is not for them, it's for every single one of us. Please. Your Excellency, your exalted position as the President of Nigeria and a major factor in today's international order, you know very well that self-determination is a right and an inalienable right of all indigenous nations of the world. And I'll be telling you about Togoland or Western Togoland. I'll be giving you some updates as they are also part of the UNPO. Some development is happening from that end. International community. You know that these inalienable rights, are enshrined in the laws of international community. And spelled out what spelled out properly. Spelled out properly. That was spelled out. In many important international conventions and declarations. Convention ni àwọn kan tó ti kọ síta pé òfin yìí o, international law yìí o, Nigeria náà wà embedded o, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wá fẹ́ lo Tinubu ò lè sọ pé òun ò nípa ẹ̀ tó bá náà wọ̀n kó lọ gba àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà kó béèrè lọ́wọ́ AGF tó kàwé jùlọ ní law kó pe Yẹmí Ọ̀sínbàjò Senior Advocate of Nigeria kó pe Afẹ́ Babalọ́lá kó tètè máa ṣàlàyé fún, because the Yoruba people want to have their country back. Conventions and declarations of the United Nations Charter. Tabakon lo gbogbo ilé pé a kàn lò pé because of the diplomatic part of this movement. Because tabani agbeyewo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá dàgbà ju United Nations lọ. We are older than United Nations. So we don't need United Nations, but because the world has progressed and is still evolving from century Konlele, this century will destroy Nigeria. There's no doubt about it. Because Nigeria will be destroyed so that the real indigenous people take back their land and then continue to flourish as humans. And anything that crosses their path will be crushed to death. So the fact that we are just using the laws of United Nations and all other international laws is because it's the norm. Because United Nations itself was only formed in 1945. The International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, Morikabi is Ooni of Ife, representing Nigeria on cultural rights, when he should be representing Yoruba land, because Igbo can represent Nigeria. The same Fulani that are killing your people, Tani Onilo represents. Is meant to be representing the Omo Oduduwa, our Omo Romo Alade, not Omo Igbo. Kini kan Omo Igbo atama Hausa. But today, I saw it in the news. As Kabiyesi continue, Ijo oni wọ́n fi Kabiyesi jẹ kini kan of. I'm trying to get the article out in a minute. We saw Kabiyesi, the Ooni of Ife, the Ojaja II, Baba wa Dada, as they continue to travel around the world, using Nigeria on our Oduduwa. Ooni of Ife is a traditional ruler, the monarch of Yoruba people in Nigeria. That Nigeria is what we want to destroy. We keep that Yoruba people. And this is what we're saying to Kabiyesi and all others Kabiyesi across Yoruba land. Àwọn ọmọ yìí máa jáde on the order of Baba Akintoye very soon. And we pray that your blessing will come with us. If you do not give us your blessing, it will be something that will be in the history of your people for a very long time. How they are going to forget, I don't know, even if they have to forgive. Pé nígbà tá a fi jà pé kí ẹ̀yin lè ní àṣeyọrí ní ancestral land bàbá yín, ẹ wà against it. Gbogbo èèyàn ọba pátápátá ni mo sọ, without leaving anybody behind. It will be a disaster. Pé bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí, but by the time that these our children, àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà, àwọn ọmọ Ìrànmọ́ládé, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá jáde pé a fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ wa, ẹ̀yin ọba wa wà against it, we will not forgive you even if we have to forget. How that is going to play out, ọwọ́ yín ló kù sí o. Ọwọ́ èèyàn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló kù sí. We appreciate you, we love you, but we would not accept you using Nigeria on us again. 2 weeks ago, Ooni of Ife, Wole Soyinka commend President Tinubu for promoting Nigerian culture globally. What is Nigerian culture? Why is Wole Soyinka and Ooni of Ife deceiving Yoruba people? What is Nigerian culture? Ẹni kan sọ bí tí Nigerian culture wà fún wa, a fi lọ study. Ẹni kí wọ́n sọ bí tí Nigerian culture wà fún wa o, èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì, màá lọ study it, even if it's going to take me 3 years. That is one of the biggest fraud that Britain cooked. And our monarchy and our professor are using that gimmick on us. We can no longer tolerate that. I've been getting signal that it's already my birthday, 31st of May. But I'm already in the middle of my program, and I believe the only birthday I can wish for is for us to have our own independent country. Everybody will celebrate. The Ooni of Ife. This was 2 weeks ago, article. Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi has commended President Bola Tinubu, that is against the wish of the Yoruba people now, for his administration drawing recognition of culture as a vital pillar of national identity. Ewo fraud, ewo oyinbo fraud, ewo oyinbo jìbìtì, ewo oyinbo olè. Recognition of culture as a vital pillar of national identity. Kini identity Nigeria? What is the identity of Nigeria? Thank you so much for the super chat, Shegun Honorable. Kini identity Nigeria? Kí Kábíyèsí sọ fún wa, àfihàn àwọn ọmọ. Ẹ bá mi share program ẹjọ tó yẹ Olódùmarè. Ẹ bá mi pín dé gbogbo palaces of àwọn ọba wa. Because this goes to all our kings that keep promoting culture in Nigeria, knowing fully well that there's nothing called Nigeria because Nigeria is a fraud. unity. Táyé bá fi parẹ́, tá bá sì wà ní Nigeria, there will never be unity, according to Ango Abdullahi. Ango Abdullahi said, and I quote, "It is either we have a peaceful dissolution now, or everybody should go and prepare for war." It is time, according to Ango Abdullahi, for us to exercise the power of sovereignty that we have wasted and sold under the guise superiors elections over the years. Election mi lọ́dún tó kú sílẹ̀ fún àwọn Yorùbá o. Gba 5,000 kó síbẹ̀. Kòràmàgí tó bá tẹ̀lé lùbọ̀. Ango Abdullahi said in a summary in his various write-up, this 1914 amalgamation isn't working. Ṣé kábíyèsí máa náwọn gbogbo àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ̀ pé kò ṣiṣẹ́? Ta làwọn ṣiṣẹ́ fún ni mo wá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín. Mo sọ fún yín pé ọ̀dà ṣì ń wá láti Buckingham Palace lórí gbogbo àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá. Gbogbo balẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣì ń lo that 1914 amalgamation lórí ancestral land tí bàbá wọn àwọn màmá ńlá wọn tó gbé fún wọn, and expect unity and love and peace. Wá fi culture wá fi ṣe yẹn. So tí kábíyèsí bá ń sọ fún wa pé President Tinubu ó ń ṣe kí ni o, ó ń grow culture, kò lè grow culture because ọmọ Igbo sọ fún wa pé a kì í ṣe culture kan náà. We can have our country separately and we can have a very good culture. Ẹ wá promote culture yín fún wa, káwa náà wá promote ti yín. But kò ṣe pé káwa wà in the one country tó ń pè Nigeria, káwa máa lo Nigeria as culture lẹ Yorùbá, knowing that is a fraud. Ẹ tó bá fi support birthday mi, òun ni account details náà fi síta yẹn. Kò sí bó ṣe lè kéré tó, that can be the only birthday that I can have, and we appreciate. According to a statement that was signed by the media assistant to the Executive Secretary, National Institute for Cultural Orientation, Mr. Saleh, quoted, the traditional ruler has given the commendation during a media conference organized by Nico to help the upcoming World Orisha Congress, which I believe Kabiyesi is currently en route. I've seen Ooni of Ife making his way towards that event. But one thing I can tell us today, we can no longer be deceived, as Britain has done, tó parọ́ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Àwọn wo ló wá lò? Àwọn tó lò gangan náà ni àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá from the day one. The Britain ti ń lo àwọn ọba wa against gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Àwọn Britain ti fi àwọn ọba wa sí position pé tí a bá sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọba wa ni kó takò wa, and that is why they've all kept mute. Èyí tó bá dẹ̀ fi sọ̀rọ̀ nù wọn, we know what they will do to them, and we are still hoping that something will ignite our kings and allow them to return back to their ancestral land rather than Nigeria. Tẹ́ bá wo palace ọba mi, school mean in UK, I'm sorry to say this, a school in the UK is better than one of the king's palace in Yoruba land. Ali compare any of our palace, doesn't matter how beautiful those palaces is, compare with the Buckingham Palace. Quote me anywhere. No matter how good your palaces are across Yoruba land, you cannot compare it. I was in the late Alaafin's palace. The paramount ruler of Yoruba land, Alaafin ikú bàbá yèyé, ó ń lo torchlight nínú palace. Ṣé King Charles lè lo torchlight nínú palace? Tani wọ̀ bá fún níná tó bá ń ṣe ọba yàtọ̀ sí Ṣèyí Mákindé. That is what UK has done. That is what the UK has done. Kí mọ̀ sí mi dáadáa, ẹ ti bí ọmọ tó dáa, ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. Kò sí ìbẹ̀rù fún yín, kò lè sí kú lójú mi nísìn, gbogbo àjọmọ̀ adélẹ̀ lè rí ni. Gbogbo wa àjọmọ̀ adélẹ̀ lè rí ni. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé ìdí mi ń ṣe pé kí ló dé tó jẹ́ wọ gbé ọmọ tí ọkùnrin àkọ́bí ẹ̀gbẹ́ síta kó wá dánwò. Gbogbo wa jọ máa délẹ̀ lérí ni. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá máa bọ́ lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà, lọ́wọ́ Britain. Kò sí bàbá ńlá ẹni tó lè dá dúró mọ́ lórúkọ Jésù Kristi. Ẹ kún fàdúrà ìyàwó tó kù. Bàbá ti ní 3 days I will also be doing it. Tí bàtà lè gba full day, I will have the fast from Monday. Ọ̀nàjọ́ mẹ́ta kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kan ló gbà wẹ̀. Àti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ Nigeria, there's no doubt about it. No more spiritual can hold Yoruba people down. The end of Nigeria now one way. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Baba bàbá ní kí gbogbo wa fi gbà wẹ̀. Mo kí kábíyèsí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí wọn ọba wa, ẹ má jẹ́ alátakò fáwọn ọmọ yín nísìn, ẹ má jẹ́ the obstacle fún àwọn ọmọ yín, àwa ọmọ yín tá wà lábẹ́ yín, a nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín gan. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí àwọn olóṣèlú jẹ́ kájọ gbójú wojú ara wa, torí a gbọ́dọ̀ gbójú wò yín, bàbá lẹ jẹ́ fún wa. But tí palace kan nígbà tá a bá ti jáde tó bá wà against in tá à ń ṣe, a jẹ́ pé you have yourself to blame. Wọ́n ti ṣe rally lásán, ẹ̀wọ̀n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kwara State ní last week. Tó wá dá kí wọ́n máa sọnà sí palace ọba, kò dáa. Tó dá kí wọ́n sọnà sí palace ọba. I don't think that is what we want. Ẹ̀yin ọba wa, ẹ pé bàbá Akintoye kó sọ fún Tinubu kó jẹ́ ká lọ wọ́nrọ́wọ́. Ẹ pé bàbá Akintoye láàárọ̀ ọ̀la kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ negotiation tá a máa rí tó máa confam pé lótìtọ́ lódodo Tinubu ti ń sọ fún wọn pé òun máa jọ̀wọ́ fọmọ Yorùbá. Tí Tinubu ò bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní gbádùn Nàìjíríà mọ́ nígbà tá a bá ti jáde. Gbogbo ẹnu mo fi sọ, kò ní gbádùn Nàìjíríà yẹn mọ́. Kò ní bá Nàìjíríà yẹn torí pé kò ní lo international order ti Britain lórí ancestral land wa. Gbogbo tó bá wọn yìí ní kẹ́ lọ sọ fún Ṣèyí Tinubu, ẹ lọ sọ fún Ṣèyí Tinubu pé kó wọ́n ní bàbá ẹ̀ sílẹ̀, pé kó jẹ́ kí Yorùbá máa lọ nílò ẹ̀, àfi bá ẹnì àfi ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà mọ́. Ẹ sọ fún Ṣèyí Tinubu kó pe bàbá ẹ̀, kó pe bàbá ẹ̀. Gbogbo ìbọn òfò tẹ́ ń kó káàkiri, gbogbo àwọn machinery tẹ́ ń kó káàkiri, àwọn tẹ́ lọ́n train wọ́n lè gbà yín lẹ̀ o. Ìlú tó bá rójú nìyẹn ń ṣèjọba nínú ẹ̀ o. Ìlú tó bá rójú ló ń ṣèjọba nínú ẹ̀. Britain bẹ Ireland gbà yín ní o, wọ́n padà bẹ̀ wọ́n gbẹ̀yìn ni. Let's go back to there. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọba sílẹ̀. Britain was begging Ireland, but enough is enough. Kí lẹ fẹ́? Ẹ ṣe fún ìtẹ́ fún wa ní super chat. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá send owó sí account wa, ẹ bá mi share receipt. Owó ilé ìtẹ́ fún mi owó birthday ni o, kò ṣe owó Yorùbá nation. Tó bá wù mí ni màá fi ṣe. Ẹ ṣe gan-an dúpẹ́. Britain tó ń pè ní United Kingdom ó padà bẹ̀bẹ̀ náà ni o. Ìyẹn ni bàbá Akintoye ṣe ń sọ fún Tinubu nínú lẹ́tà pé ọmọdé ò mọ oògùn ó ń pè lẹ́fọ̀ọ́ òun lọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá land pẹ̀lú Tinubu. Wọ́n sọ fún ṣe bí etí ẹ̀ di bẹ́ẹ̀ tó kó òwú sétí. Ó ń ṣe bí tó gbọ́, ó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nísìn kò lè náà wọ́n gbọ́ àwọn ṣèpàdé báwọn ṣe fẹ́ ṣe 2027 àbí àwọn ṣe ìpàdé bọ́n ṣe fẹ́ ṣe 2027 ní ìlú tó ti tán tó ti táyẹ̀ ti tán pátápátá tó ti end the failed country. But Tinubu rò pé òun tún lè push it another 4 years again. Àmì fún ẹ láyé yẹn. Wàá yà máa gbé ní Àbújá ni. O lè nílé control ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Torí kò sí kankan, ìwọ kọ́ ló nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, Tinubu kọ́ ló nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ìwọ ní táwọn ìyá kan máa ń tẹ́sẹ̀ ní Koiki ṣe ti gbọ́ nísìnyí kéèsì Nnamdi Kanu. Nítorí pé àwọn yẹn ṣì ń jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà exist ni. Àwọn ò ní jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà exist ni. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń gbé lọ sí Àbújá. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń gbé lọ sí court. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń gbé lọ sí police station. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó máa detain. Kò ní dáa bá gbogbo yín pátápátá látòkè délẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ṣì ń gbàgbà kúgbà. Mo ní àwa la máa gbà wọ́n gan sílẹ̀ lọ́rọ̀ tó wà lẹ́yìn. Yorùbá ló máa gba Ìgbò sílẹ̀. Bá lọ ẹ̀. Yorùbá ló fẹ́ gba Ìgbò sílẹ̀. Gbogbo ìtàwọn ọ̀dọ́ dòdòdòdòdòdòdò àwa la máa gbà wọ́n sílẹ̀. Ẹ ṣe ti kọ́lẹ̀kùn. Àwa la máa gba Biafra sílẹ̀. Wọ́n mọ̀ àwọn náà mọ̀. Wọ́n dúró káwa lead ni. Wọ́n ṣebí Tinubu ẹ̀yọ́mọ Yorùbá ló mú ó lè halẹ̀ mọ́ Biafra kò lè halẹ̀ mọ́ Yorùbá. Gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ. Because 60 million Yoruba people are forging ahead on the order of Baba Akintoye. A failed contraction. Let's go further in the letter tí Baba Akintoye kọ. Nígbà tí Baba ti sọ fún pé òfin àgbáyé kò sọ pé terrorist ni wá o, kò lè sọ fún wa pé treasonable offence. It's either we sit together, we sort this thing out. Ẹ ṣe gan ni mo ti ń rí alert. Owó kan kéré, owó tẹ́ bá fún wa náà, a lè fi san end of the month, a lè san salary fún àwọn staff mi. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé pounds ni, àní káwọn ọmọ ìlú náà mú díẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. I am also changing a lot of my things there because I was expecting this month we go ahead with the rally. but tí bàbá rẹ̀ sọ pé kò tíya, I have no other choice to listen and follow, wait for them. But a lot of things will change. Mo sọ fún yín pé èmi ò kánjú to return back to London. I still wait. Ó kàn máa change a lot of my things ni. Mo kúkú ní doctor appointment mo lọ pàdé ní London. Ṣèyí tẹ́ wá lé, I am still with you. Ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. Let's go further. We proudly and confidently, I am not recording this audio because I'm an extra phone. So, ẹni tó bá ti gbọ́ náà ló gbọ́, ẹni tó bá gbọ́ ẹ má bínú, ẹ láti lọ download ẹ. Mo ní spare phone láti fi record, but ó máa wà recorded on all our platforms. And you can see why I said I can't guarantee all the social media. Video tí bàbá ṣe lánàá, tí mo tó ṣẹlẹ̀, but I hope that it's not taking down our World Media YouTube channel. And that's why I have to back up every day after my broadcast, because ìyẹn lè ṣe wàhálà tó tó yìí kọ́kọ́ wà gbé iṣẹ́ yẹn náà nǹkan gbogbo tá à ń ṣe léni táwọn kan ṣe máa padà lọ máa tún wò tó máa appreciate gbogbo yín pátápátá. Everybody will máa rí gbogbo ten comment gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́ máa rí, àtẹ̀mí tí mò ń ṣe, àtẹ̀yìn tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa, àtẹ̀yìn tẹ̀ ti pè wọlé in the last 5 years. This is going to be the most important vital movement to lead sí a country tí wọ́n ní mọ bó ṣe fi ṣẹlẹ̀. Àwọn fẹ́ mọ bó ṣe fi ṣẹlẹ̀ ni, but wọ́n ti sọ fún Tinubu pé bó o bá jẹ́ kó lọ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ máa dàbí Yugoslavia ni, and we will have no regret for him. Ṣe sọ fún rẹ̀ ní Tinubu gbogbo ìtàn ṣe yẹn what he was more than enough to let go now. What is ṣe ọdún mẹ́rin, that is good enough. Extension ten wá yẹn forget ẹ nílẹ̀ ẹ padà kẹ́ máa bọ̀ nílé ẹ̀yin méjèèjì, ẹ máa bọ̀ nílé ẹ jókòó sílé ká wá design country mi pẹ̀lú constitution mi. Constitution ló máa wá decide ibi tó olúkálùkù máa rìn sí. But ẹ bá náà fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kálẹ́tà ẹ̀ fún yín sí. Màá ṣègbè yín lọ sí Western Togoland. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀? Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó send the link ẹ̀ sí mi láti US. Because kò ń ṣe gbogbo wọn lámọ̀. Like I always say, this is your only international platform. We are proudly and confidently assert, Your Excellency, that all actions of the well-known mainstream of the Yoruba self-determination struggle have at all times been consciously and consciously peaceful. Bóyá máa wà ní peaceful tàbá ti jáde délẹ̀, I might not guarantee that saying. Bàbá lè máa sọ pé máa wà peaceful. I don't know, because the reactions of humans are different. Humans are very, very different. Tí bá sọ fún pé máa wà peaceful, mo kàn fẹ́ fi ẹgbẹ́ yín mọ́ra ni. Ilé ayé gan peaceful. Ilé ayé gan láti gbé òrọ̀rùn. Tó bá rọrùn ni kò ní sí gbogbo wàhálà àti ìdààmú tá à ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Torí wo táwọn Britain bá mọ̀ kan fi jẹ́ kó rọrùn ni wọ́n bá má kó gbogbo àpapọ̀. So kíyàn kan máa expect pé ó ti wà peaceful bẹ́ẹ̀ ni for 5 years. Kò lè sẹ́ni kankan nínú àwọn olóṣèlú tó máa ní pé wọ́n fi kú lé òun. Tó bá yẹ pa tí ń fi kú lé yín ni láti 5 years ẹ ti jàwọ́ fún wa. Ẹ tí ó bá fi kú lé yín ni tí ó bá ní bàbá tó sọ fún wa pé no, ọ̀nà àyẹ̀kọ́ la máa gbà, it will be peaceful. But if you think that peaceful is what you want, then we must open the room for negotiation so that this can end peacefully. But kò sí ọkàn tó ń gbà lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ láyé. Mo gbọ́ pásítọ̀ kan táwọn kan ṣe yahoo. Ó ní ṣé ìsọ̀ ni àbí Jacob ẹ̀wọ̀n kémi ọmọ Bible dáadáa. Ó ní kò ń ṣe pé ojú ẹlòmíì kan ló lọ fi gbàdúrà lọ́wọ́ bàbá ẹ̀. Ṣèbí bí àìsàn ló lọ gba àdúrà tí kò jẹ́ kó gbà. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ mọ story yẹn èyí tẹ̀ mọ́ dáadáa nínú Bible. So fraud ti wà tipẹ́. So tí àkàmá rò pé bí àtúndì àti ń babọ̀ ní peaceful bó ṣe máa délẹ̀ náà nìyẹn ẹ tutù ẹ̀dá lálẹ́. Àfi tí negotiation bá jáde látọ̀dọ̀ federal government pé okay, we will give room for that peaceful tẹ́fí lọ. But wọ́n ní jẹ́ kẹ́ lọ nílọ́run, and you must prepare for that. We respectfully remind you that when in 2021 Tinubu lè mọ̀ pé gbogbo rally ta ṣe kò lè lóhùn gbọ́. Táwọn náà wọ́n mọ̀ nípa àtàkì tí olóyè Ìgbòho nílé olóyè Ìgbòho gbogbo ọlọ́mọ̀ pẹ̀ for their own ambition tó fi bọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu. Tell me any part of Yoruba land that there is peace after the 2 years and the 8 years, including Buhari, making 10 years of a failed APC, 16 years of a fraudulent PDP. All they've done is just enrich themselves against the millions of Yoruba people. And we are still saying that there is room for negotiation, because even during the Ireland that wanted to leave United Kingdom, there was negotiation. But something triggered that UK will never forget. You might think that all this that we are saying that is a joke. One day, another set of country or indigenous people will be using our own and say, this is how Yoruba land, Yoruba people, indigenous people gain their independence from this madness country that Britain joined together for their own. Something took place in 1916, and it was called the Easter Rising of 1916, and the rise of Sinn Féin Party, the Irish War of Independence, Oberlin in 1919, and it went 2021, went straight 2 years. Bas, boss, bas, boss, ba, bo, ba, 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 boss. Today, many Nigerians are living in Ireland, and the same Nigerians will tell you, shut up, which Yoruba nation are you looking for? Unbelievable. Àwọn gbé níbi tó ti ní peace látara pé àwọn kan jà nígbà tí wọ́n ti bí àwọn, because most of us that are fighting today, we are fighting for the unborn, that we don't want them to go through what we have gone through. That's why we're doing what we are doing. Because most people that are living in the United Kingdom today and the Republic of Ireland are not born in 1921, when the Anglo-Irish Treaty, which established the Irish Free State as a self-governing dominion, but that after 2 years of back to back with the UK government, the general law. But I will be 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, had the privilege to travel and gain status in a country like Ireland. Ireland, a population of just under 5 million. So why should 60 million Yoruba people be forced to live together in a system and a country that is not ours? Eti pawale kun won. Eno ma sunkún gbogbo yín pátá. Tẹ́ bá jẹ́ ká jókòó kan yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Some of us don't even know what our land looks like anymore. Why should we be coming home for 3 weeks, 2 months, 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months? And those that are living in there are struggling with all the resources. Let us sort this out amicably before it is too late. It can still be done. I am still open for a peaceful way out rather than going into the anarchy and the crisis, and there will be a lot of destruction. There's no doubt about it. Don't let anybody fool you. There will be, because if we out and the military open fire, there will be destructions and there will be loss of lives. I don't think we need that. But we are not going to hold back because after loss of life and remain in Nigeria, we will go ahead and still gain our country. Because the only freedom we can get is to get our identity back. Akintoye wrote quite a lot in details to Tinubu. And I'm going to take it from another paragraph. And this paragraph is the one that any letter from Tinubu, that global politics don't play in. It needs now to wind it down and accept not a defeat, that he has already done exactly what he could have done or what he has not done by becoming the president, and that is more than enough. It's just a warning and an advice to him. There's no doubt about it, we're all going to die at some point. The point we die is what we don't know. Awolowo is no longer with us, but in spirit and mind, Awolowo is still in the heart of millions of Yoruba people and those that are not Yoruba, even those that are against him, like the Biafra. Oh, no, don't because one mama rántí pé yes, Awolowo ó ṣàmọ̀ kankan nípa the 1967, according to what they say, nípa how Awolowo did this to them and that. Oh, gbàgbé náà nìyẹn. So either Tinubu wants to be remembered for something good, or Tinubu wants to be remembered the other way around. But one thing is, will you hold your akpada? So this paragraph I'm going to read now, out of all the paragraphs, excuse me, that Baba addressed to him, this is the one that is very important. If Tinubu thinks that he will still die at some point. At the point he would die, I don't know, but he would die. So if those of you that are advising him for 2027, that means you're pushing him to his death. You might not have time to watch my program, but there are people right now that can summarize it to him in 3 minutes. Ẹ lọ sọ fún Tinubu, he will not be the one to hold us back. We are forging ahead to gain our country, because death will still come to him, even if he tried to. Tọ́ba sọ pé Aláàfin àná máa kú or ó máa wàjà. I met him. Wọ́n ní ikú bàbá yèyé, ẹni tí kò kí n pa lọ́la Swami. Death still came and took him away. But Yoruba ní pọ̀ bọ̀ kí kú ọba wàjà. So Tinubu will die as well. So we're not scared of him. He might be scared of his colonial rulers, our overlord, Togbishe fún. We are not scared of them. And that is why Africans are rising up across every part of the continent. Because àwọn ọ̀bẹ̀rù, ẹ̀yin lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rù kú. Ẹni tó bá ń bẹ̀rù kú, ikú padà máa pa gbogbo wa náà ni. But one thing is that the land of Yoruba land will not die. It will continue to flourish and bring the best out of its people. But if we remain in Nigeria, it will not. And this is the reason why we must all go out there. So I'm going to read this. I'm taking my time. Láti máa ṣàlàyé kó lè yé ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fi ṣàlàyé fún Tinubu àti bàbá àti Ṣèyí Tinubu. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ à ń kó bọ̀n jáde à ń kó kíní jáde o. Ilé ò ní gbà yín, ọ̀nà ní gbà yín. Ilé ò ní gbà yín. Àwọn kì í ṣe àwọn Biafra Yorùbá là wá síra wa. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń fi àpọ́nlé tó kò pọ́nra wa lé. Àpọ́nlé yẹn kò ní sí níbẹ̀ mọ́ tó bá tó stage kan. Ọ̀rẹ́ kọ́ àwọn ọmọ tajáde kọ́ lélẹ́yìí ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ kọ́ lélẹ́yìí ọ̀rọ̀ ancestral land, ilẹ̀ là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀, ilẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé àfẹ́jẹ́ kọ́ gbà wọn wá lọ́wọ́, and we are ready to die for it. We are ready to die for that land. Ilẹ̀ yẹn are ready pé ẹ̀ nílé ilẹ̀ yẹn gbà tó bá jẹ́ pé ilẹ̀ fẹ́ lo ilẹ̀ yẹn against wa, ẹ̀yin gan nílé ilẹ̀ yẹn lò. Gbogbo ṣọ̀ṣọ̀ṣọ̀ tẹ́ kàn tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́yìn tẹ́ anyhow. The millions of our people cannot have access to the same land. Orílẹ̀ yẹn dẹ̀dẹ̀ tí extract owó tẹ̀ ń pa tẹ̀ ń jẹ tẹ̀ ń ná tẹ̀ ń mu. As the president of all Nigerians, you ought to listen. Ó fẹ́, ó fẹ́, ó like it, ó sì gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́n kan tá a bá ń sọ ìyẹn Tinubu. But tó bá kàn sọ fún wa pé o brush aside, you will die as well. Àwa tó dẹ̀ fi ṣèkà fún náà, we will die at some point. Bọ̀ sórí ilẹ̀ yẹn máa ṣe wà maintain and ìwọ ní gbádùn ẹ̀. Àwa tó fẹ́ pa yẹn náà ní gbádùn ẹ̀. But àwọn kan máa padà dé wá gbádùn ẹ̀. Báwọn kan ṣe lọ gbádùn abroad nísìnyí, because people fought for you to be abroad. Fáwọn táwọn abroad ta ní privilege ni. báwo ni àwọn ọmọdé in-law mi àwọn ní access sí oògùn mọ́mísí tèmi dẹ̀ ní access sí oògùn látara pé system yẹn ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́hùn àwọn kan ló jà fún ni mọ́mísí tèmi ṣe ń gbàgbọ́ lọ́hùn yẹn so àwọn kan gbọ́dọ̀ jà fún kí ìrànlọ́wọ́ mi má ti wá jìyà pé wọ́n ò rí oògùn gbà lọ́sítítù. How can my mother-in-law get to the hospital nígbà tó fi kàn wọ́n báyìí wọ́n wá ní pé doctor ní kan tó padà wá in 2 weeks time ẹ̀ ní ṣọlẹ̀ gbogbo èèyàn olóṣèlú yẹn ikú máa pa gbogbo yín ni a máa jáde lẹ́ni ẹni tó máa kú ló máa kú. After lining up for more than hours tó máa kàn yá yẹn wọ́n wá ń sọ fún yá yẹn pé kó tó padà wá ní 2 weeks time tí kú bá pa kó tó 2 weeks time yẹn kọ́ ikú máa pa gbogbo yín ni. èyí ní access medical ṣé àwa ní access medical ẹ̀wá rògbò ẹ̀ ń ṣèkà fáwa àtàwọn fámìlì wa ẹ̀yin fi máa gbádùn ilé òní gbọ̀yìn ọ̀nà ní gbẹ́ni bọ́dí ni wa ayé à destroy gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ máa gbádùn ẹ̀ torí ẹ̀yin ṣe ráyè gbádùn ẹ̀ ní ibi tẹ́ ti ń gbádùn ẹ̀ yẹn àwa ti mọ̀ àwa náà tó lè yìn níbẹ̀ ó kù díẹ̀ ṣé rí gbogbo bí tẹ́ ti ń gbádùn ẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́ ti ń gbádùn Nàìjíríà yẹn gbogbo ẹ̀ làwa náà ti mọ̀ gbogbo bí tẹ́ ti ń gbádùn Nàìjíríà yẹn táwa kan fi gbádùn ẹ̀ yẹn àwa náà ti mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. I will leave that off the social media. But pain then create sí wa lójoojúmọ́ pain yẹn ta fi sọ fún yín pé ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó amicably tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ fún wa pé ẹ lọ ṣe tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe ẹ má ẹ̀ka ṣe tá bá fẹ́ ṣe yẹn kò ní dáa torí pé ẹ̀yin gan ní gbádùn ẹ̀ àwa náà ní gbádùn ẹ̀ bọ̀ ẹ̀yin náà ní gbádùn ẹ̀ but àwọn sẹ́ẹ̀tì kan máa wá dé àwọn máa wá gbádùn ẹ̀ torí àwọn ọmọ tó máa já sí ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń fà yìí wọ́n sọ fún yín pé kọ́mẹ́dì kan lọ́rọ̀ Yorùbá nation táwọn kan bá ń sọ di kọ́mẹ́dì lórí platform kò ṣe kọ́mẹ́dì nígbà kò sẹ́ni kankan tó mọ ibi tó máa já sí nígbà tá a bá jáde but ibi tó máa jáde final end ni pé ṣe rí àwa àtẹ̀yìn àti gbogbo àwọn àjọ fi jáde àwa gbogbo wa yẹn àjọ wọ débì kan àwọn the next set tó kù orí wa wá pé wá mọ́ tó ń pè ní freedom wá defend ẹ̀ débi pé tẹ́lẹ̀ bọ́ọ̀dì bá fẹ́ wà gbà lọ́wọ́ wá pàdánù lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ wá fi ọ̀bẹ wá fi pàdánù lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ pé láyé ìtàwọn bàbá ńlá wa jà fún mi kí ló rò báwọn ọmọ Britain ṣe ń tutọ́ sí wa lára pé àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n jà ní kí ló rò báwọn European ṣe ń tutọ́ sí wa lára torí pé àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n jà fún freedom yẹn wọ́n mọ tó ń pè ní freedom àwa làwa fẹ́ lọ gbádùn ẹ̀yìn tó ṣe ń bú wa pé animals ẹ̀yin fi lẹ́yìn sílẹ̀ ẹ̀yin sọ pé ẹ ní góòlù ẹ lómi ẹ ní gbogbo nǹkan ẹ wá jókòó sí abroad ẹ̀yin ọmọ àlè nítorí wọ́n pè wá nìyẹn the coward àwa tutọ́ sí wa lára àwa endure for many years ẹni tó tó wa àtútọ́ sí wa lára níbi iṣẹ́ àbáwa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹlòmíà sunkún kò ní mọ ibi tómi yẹn ti gbà jáde torí pé ilẹ̀ táwọn bàbá ńlá ti wá tọ́ tàdà tọmọ táwa kan tó yẹ ká wá jà fún àwa náà tó wá sálọ ṣé gbogbo ara máa wá sálọ ṣe jẹ́ ká yan ọ̀rọ̀ yìí amicably because destruction yẹn á pọ̀ jù tí bàbá bá ń sọ lókè ní lẹ́tà pé ó ti wà peaceful kò láìpẹ́ kó máa wà peaceful délẹ̀ o fact lèmi sọ fún yín kò láìpẹ́ kó máa wà peaceful délẹ̀ ó bẹ́tà kí Tinubu gbọ́ bíbá ìdá dání sí torí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí in the past. A president needs to listen. tó bá ń sọ pé nǹkan kan work táwọn èèyàn pariwo káàkiri gbogbo Nàìjíríà pé kí ni yóò ṣiṣẹ́ ìwọ wá ń pẹ́ ká tó fún ẹ láyè kó tó lọ ṣọdún mẹ́rin ìwọ ló lẹ̀mí ẹni ṣé ìwọ ló lẹ̀mí tó fẹ́ lọ fi ṣọdún mẹ́rin yẹn nígbà tó kó àwọn ìkókò sábẹ́ tíṣẹ̀ tí bá ń sọ fún wa pé restructure my foot ó gbé Ganduje ọmọ Fúlàní ó gbé sẹ́yìn ó gbé pọ̀n ó sọ dé APC chairman ṣá ọ̀dẹ̀ wà láwa ìwọ tó lè control nù ilé ẹ ló wá fẹ́ fáwọn ní guarantee yẹn ló sọ fún wa ní 2023 ló sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àti Nigerians pé tó bá débẹ̀ wàá ṣe wàá ṣe tọ̀hún ṣe wá rí pé nísìnyí kò ṣeé ṣe because destruction yẹn ti wà á níwọ̀n ló destroy yẹn. That has been the game plan of Britain. àwọn kan náà lọ kọ constitution fún wa àwọn kan náà lọ tó gbogbo ẹ̀ àwọn kan náà lọ sọ pé ọ̀nà báyìí lẹ máa gbà ẹ̀yin Fúlàní tẹ́ bá máa pa wọ́n dànù náà. I take that again. As president of all Nigerians, you ought to listen to what increasing numbers of important Nigerian men and women, including northern men and women, are saying more and more passionately these days. In answer to, if you go every part of Nigeria today, even those that doesn't want Nigeria to break, everybody is just tired of that fuckery country, and everybody just wants to depart and go their separate ways. But the rulers still want to keep us together, and that is an explosion. Because the more you are trying to keep it together, the more it will explode. And when it explodes, even though that are innocent, will be affected. And this is why we are saying again and again, let's give room to dialogue. Dialogue now, before it is too late. Forget about the lies, the deceit by any of your representatives. They can continue to tell you lies that all is well. All is not well anymore in Nigeria. Nothing is well anymore in Nigeria. Nigeria needs now to dissolve. This is not about talking about 2027. This is far away from 2027. What is on the table right now is let everybody, the indigenous people, go back and reset the button. But no, you don't want that, because you are still following the international order, the world order that wants to keep Yoruba people, the Igbo people, the Hausa people, all the beautiful indigenous people. You want to force them together. But what you forget to understand is that it will bring the biggest civil war again that we've never seen, and we cannot sit back. And that's why we're doing everything we're doing, so that come out to receive war memo. They're pushing. Please share the program and let this message get to the politicians. All this election campaignery that they're doing is not a solution anymore. All this campaign of preparing for 2027 is not what should be on the table. What we should be discussing right now is how we can still be great neighbors as nations. The Biafra nation, the Yoruba nation, and we can live side by side with closed borders and still allow at least a passage for those of us that wants to go to each of this country. Just like the United Kingdom left EU, but a British citizen can still drive tonight. It's just 1 o'clock in London, and they can still make it to Germany, Spain, just by driving. That's all we're asking for. We can have a country and country and country and still have borders. But you know, if you borrow, and so if you dìbò ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, kí tí wà lábá ṣẹlẹ̀ ilé ẹ̀ lè dìbò ní. Ẹ ṣe gbọ́n kí wá fún birthday, ẹ má gbàgbé kẹ́ bá fi owó lé, ẹ bá fi account number sí tẹ̀jọ́. Ká lè rówó fi ṣe birthday lọ́la. Bó tẹ̀jẹ́ restaurant kan kí n gbéra mi lọ́la. Mo kí gbogbo yín bàbá lólu wa. Koiki, shut up. Ìbẹ̀ ni rally ń bọ̀. This rally is not, I keep telling you, it's not just a rally. Yoruba nation ló fi dé. Tí order yẹn bá ti jáde, Yoruba nation ti dé nìyẹn. For me personally, I don't know about you. Tí bàbá bá ti ní ká jáde, as far as I'm concerned, àti gba Yoruba nation. That is my own personal. Màá sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí Bishop. Tí bàbá bá ti ní ká jáde, èmi lèmi sọ, má quote me anywhere. Èmi personally, I believe that we have already got our country. Ó wá kó bá ṣe fi defend it. Àwọn bàbá dẹ̀ mọ̀ what they will do next. But when some of us are not taking it to that extent, a kàn ń rò pé wọ́n ní mail àmà jáde fún rally, wá jáde, ó ti tán, ṣèbá sọ fún yín, ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ pápá fígba country nìyẹn. 2 years ní Ireland, níbi tí mọ́mí wa yẹn, ìyẹ̀wé, I met her before, Yesterboard, ó dà pọ̀ wá sí wedding ní Ìyábọ̀ Òjó ní Tanzania. Ṣé mo pé passport Ireland ìyá yẹn fi travel, Irish passport. But they are not campaigning for Yoruba nation. But àwọn lè gbádùn kó travel láti Ireland lọ sí Tanzania kó tó padà with an Irish passport. Ṣé wọn náà lè sáré lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ sí Ireland pẹ̀lú Nigeria passport láàárọ̀ yìí? Pé kò ra ticket, kò lè fly out láàárọ̀ náà the first flight, kò lè lọ kí wọn ní Ireland. You can see the selfishness of our people. The same Ireland yẹn ọdún méjì gbáko lọ fi bá UK jà, lọ fi wá declare country wọn ní 2021. We can do it. I won't need the 2 years to declare. But I kọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ follow order bàbá Akintoye tó bá ti ní ká jáde. means that we will now achieve our goals and become free for the rest of our lives. Ẹ má worry nípa gbogbo game tó ń play lágbàáyé. Wọ́n mú Simon Nipa, wọ́n present terrorist ní kìíní kan ní. If Britain hasn't joined everybody together, it will not be agitating. We are at the last lap of this movement, the final stage of the movement, Lawa. And we must do everything to protect it. Ibi tó kù sí kò tóbi tá a ti ń bọ̀ mọ́. But they will bring in all kind of confusion. Mo kí mọ̀ sí mi dáadáa. And once again, thank you so much for the birthday message. Let us continue to tell the politicians. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àwọn gbádùn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gan ìyá mi ajé olókun. Máa kí gbogbo yín dáadáa, ẹ fún mi few seconds kí n fi land. Lórí lẹ́tà bàbá Akintoye. Ẹ̀yin fẹ́ máa gbádùn. Káwọn máa ní fún wa ní $10, ẹ fún wa ní $50. This part tí mo fẹ́ ká yìí, history lè repeat rẹ̀ tí Tinubu bá wà careful. Tó bá fi fagídí ṣe, tó ní òun nígbà. I pray it doesn't. But I have said it that Tinubu is not going to give a toss. The people of Nigeria are yearning and crying out loud that this country is no longer viable for us as a country, not as people. The people can stay far away. Biafra land with their borders, I can still travel there and they will still accept me, but as an Oduduwa citizen. But the fact that I cannot move to Biafra land today or southeast due to so many obstacles and vice versa. They think this is like an NSAS or all these protests that have been going on. No, we are fighting for the ancestral land. We are not fighting for change of government policy. Can you come up and get change of government policy? The people that came out for the NSAS want a police reform. No, we are not asking for police reform. We are asking to take back our ancestral land that Britain took away from us, that switch our identity. That's what we are fighting for. And that means our spirit is different from those that are fighting that they want the NSAS police reform. When we have a country, when things are put in place, let them change it. The police will not shoot, as we saw in Ibadan last week, when a 13-year-old going for WAEC was shot. At the public transport, people will not be raped and thrown out and then killed, like my sister, Bamishe. A Yoruba government will not train their pilot and then somebody will reverse and kill her or him, like our sister, Tululokwe. A lawyer that is just going home after buying a pizza will not be shot dead with the twins that she's carrying, like Bonali Rahim. That is what we are going to fight for. We are not coming out because we want Tinubu to change the policy of this and policies of that we know that it cannot change. Because Tinubu has no power to change the constitution. He has no power to give us our identity. So whether we go out and protest and say, hey, after the war we go back in, that is why we are not going out. We are not going back in until the demands are met. And 3 days will be the first 3 days that will be extremely hot. Babati Solan again. The first 3 days is something that is unique. It's just 1 o'clock. And once again, just happy birthday to me. You're dealing with a guy that is communicator, Gemini. I will destroy Nigeria using my media before we go out. You will be seeing Nigeria, you'll be asking, what is Nigeria? That is exactly what I've been doing for the past 5 years. Burning my time. Because you want to know Nigeria, that Nigeria, you will not hear it again by the time I finish with Nigeria before we have our country. And if you think that I'm going to be defeated and be talking about nonsense and is going on in Nigeria that much so that it burns my energy, I want to burn all my energy for the Yoruba to be free. That's all I'm doing. Plus the others that are working on the block. Let's go further into the last paragraph I want to treat. They are saying that it is more sensible for the peoples of Nigeria to find a way to separate peacefully now. Ẹ sọ fún Tinubu pé kó jẹ́ ká separate peacefully now. Ìlú tó bá rọgbọ ni wọ́n govern. Fúlàní ò jẹ́ kó rọgbọ ọmọ lọ́wọ́ nísìn. The insecurity level in Nigeria right now is unbearable. The pain is too much. And Tinubu is still taking it as a joke. You think that it's about Yoruba nation that is pushing the destruction of Nigeria? When the Fulani agenda is not yet over. We want to help them, but we help around. They're thinking that we are just ranting on the social media when the Fulani invasion is already on our doorsteps. I'll read more comments after I finish reading. It took me time to start. I would have started a little bit earlier than this. I know it's very tense. We're at a very tense stage right now. Everybody is tense. We are tense, but we are focused. And we're not going to lose our focus. And we're not going to lose our mind. No matter what is going to happen, we must not lose our mind. Tinubu might have all the money in the world that has been stolen from Yoruba land because it's not his personal money. But the ancestral land doesn't belong to him. And that is what makes us different. We're lacking so much financial, but that is not the reason why we're not coming out yet. Let's allow Baba Akintoye to give us the say, and we will go ahead and obey the order to take back our ancestral land. But Baba Akintoye is warning Tinubu that àwọn èèyàn nú ẹ̀, àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n sọ pé ó wà sensible nísìn tí kò tí sí pé à ń yìnbọn fúnra wa ń para wa ń jà ìlú dàrú gbogbo ń gbóná yọrùkú. Everywhere is still calm right now in Nigeria, even though we know indirectly it's not calm. Inflation, everything. Kò yẹ kì í ṣe tá a bá wá gba country kò ní sí inflation ni. Let's first take back our true identity and deal with other things as we will do with our government. And wherever tó bá kù sí nígbà yẹn, àmọ́ pé ní country wà láwa. Bàbá sọ fún President Bola Tinubu pé they are saying that it is more sensible, ó wà sensible nísìnyí ní wákàtí tá a wà yìí pé àwa Igbo, àwa Yorùbá, àwa Tiv, Kanuri, Ìjọ, Hausa, kápín olúkálùkù dá lọ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ láyé rẹ̀. Èèyàn mi pé ọmọ Igbo ní lè gbé láàrin wa. He will follow our rules and regulations, just like I am also following the rules and regulations of the United Kingdom. If I take any steps that I'm not meant to take in the UK, I'll be jailed or I will be punished for whatever the offenses are. So when we have our independent Yoruba country, those that want to live with us, we follow the rules and regulations. It's as simple as that. We will trade. We will have cordial relationship. We will build institutions. We will want engineers from the Igbo land to come. We will want them to build house, but we want to make sure that they are building under the rules of engagement. People that disobey the laws around the world are punished. It is the normal thing. Èdè wa la máa sọ. Ẹni tó bá ní wọn gbé èdè wa kó padà lọ sí school kó lọ kọ́ Yorùbá. Simple. Just like people are learning languages when you travel around the globe. Níbi tó bá ti sọ English. O lè lọ gbé ní India ní sìkò ní o fẹ́ máa sọ English sí wọn. Wọ́n gbọ́ èdè wọn ló máa sọ. And the better we live Nigeria now, the better for us. Let me quickly push this, something just pop up before I just move on this. Pakistan is training terrorists in Nigeria. Yeah. Pakistan, what in train? Nigeria and the government, not the software. There is danger across Yoruba land, and we need to leave now before it is too late. And the earlier we leave, the better. The longer Tabak Pesi, the more Nigeria will still be using power to build, and it will be against us, not for us. it will be against us. So better can push now, can exit. I want us to listen to this quickly before we go further.
The suspected of arms trafficking and training terrible to the countries in North.
Let's start again.
The Nigerian military has now arrested 4 Pakistani nationals suspected of arms trafficking and training terrible to the countries in Northeast. They're sharing the details. The army said that the arrested men are also offering them technical and tactical support to groups like the ISWAP and the JAS.
They are training them for tactical. And I wonder about how lo drone, about how lo àwọn ìbọn ńlá ńlá tó fi ń pààyàn. Pakistan is behind it. And if you follow Pakistan very well, they are called Islamic country, but harboring a lot of terrorists. Ìjà tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin India àti Pakistan kò ju pé àwọn terrorists wọnú border kan ní súnmọ́ India ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ló dìjà láàrin àwọn méjèèjì just some 3 weeks ago. Tí gbàásìgbò ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin àwọn méjèèjì, nuclear power làwọn méjèèjì. But the fact that this news just came out yesterday, I just saw it today, well yesterday rather, that the Nigerian military sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé àwọn arrest Pakistan mẹ́rin tó ń train àwọn terrorists ISWAP Boko Haram in Borno State. Ìwọ wọn sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé 2027. Let me rewind it for you to listen one more time. Àwa padà sórí why Nigerians are saying it is more sensible for the people of Nigeria to find a way to separate peacefully now rather than insisting on holding on to Nigeria that is already crumbling, rather than delaying until Nigeria implodes in a generalized and messy war. Baba Akintoye ti sọ tán bẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa dogun tó máa dìyàn pọnyánrin tó máa ó máa wà messy gan, ẹni tó jẹ́ kó kú akọ̀ lọ kú, ẹni tó jẹ́ kó ṣe wà láyé wà láyé. Ibi tí Tinubu push wa lọ nísìnyí yẹn kò ń ṣe Baba Akintoye ló fẹ́ push lọ síbẹ̀. Òun là ń gbọ́ tí Pakistan train terrorist. Tinubu is taking us to the situation where it will implode into a generalized and messy war. Àti ra ọmọ Igbo tó ń threaten wa lórí ìlú wa. Bí ẹ ti gbọ́, ọmọ Igbo ní àlè tẹ bàbá lọ́jà ní Alábà. We are now facing essential threat on our land. Essential threat la face lórí ilẹ̀ wa nísìn. Gbogbo wọn pátá àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù wọn ò yọ ẹnì kankan sílẹ̀ nù. They are green snakes under the green grass. Àwọn náà kàn dúró fún the right time tó máa ride tó máa attack wa. So ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń wá against the Yorùbá pé kí Tinubu tí wọ́n ṣe 2027 ẹ ṣe plead pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ pé kó padà wá sílé. Káwá secure ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn. Káwá redefine ta ni wọ́ ọmọ bàbá ta ni wọ́ lórí ilẹ̀ yìí. Káwá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe thorough investigation of who is who. It might take time but kò ní pẹ́ with digitalization. Yes. Gbogbo tó wà nílé àkọ́kọ́ lock àwọn yẹn sínú ilé ẹni tó fẹ́ wọlé kò ní lè wọlé àkọ́kọ́ mo tálá kò síbi tẹ́lẹ̀ náà lè fi sá sí. UK is a country that doesn't run after you tó bá níwèé but they know they'll catch up with you one day. I lived there for 20 years plus. I know what I'm talking about. Ẹni tó níwèé wà ní UK báyìí nísìnyí. Wọ́n wò kò ṣe pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n wò wọ́n monitor ẹ̀. Ṣé oríjọ́ tó bá máa mú ẹ yẹn ìwọ ló máa lọ fọwọ́ ara ẹ lọ bá wọn because they can see you. Òun wọnú store ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ kódà kó máa lo káàdì oní káàdì wọ́n rí ẹ wọ́n mọ̀ pé wọ́n kọ́ ló ní káàdì yẹn torí pálí tó fi wọlé o ti sọnù wọ́n mọ̀ pé identity tó ń lò yẹn tó fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìwọ kọ́ ló ní wọ́n mọ̀ but ó ṣe ń favour wọn níbi kan ṣoríjọ́ tó bá máa mú ẹ ìwọ ló máa fọwọ́ ara ẹ lọ bá wọn ìwọ ló máa fọwọ́ ara ẹ lọ bá wọn. If you think that all this country doesn't know that you are in their country illegally bó ṣe máa rí náà nìyẹn ẹni tá a bá ti fún ní warning tá a bá ti gba country wa pé ẹ wá register ká lè mọ̀ pé wà á nulẹ̀ o tó register that means péjọ́ tá a bá ti mú kò ní any reason láti wà nílùú wa à lọ deport ẹ̀ padà síbi tó bá ti ní wọn ti wá. Last month I told you as you are today is the end of May èmi ni birthday mi May 31st na celebrate birthday mi. I got a call from someone that I knew was in the UK. Any more body deported was in Nigeria. 45 people were deported. Any more paro? April 25. Go and ask at the Muritala Mohammed Airport if there was not a flight that came from the UK, a chartered flight with 45 Nigerians that were deported. Only God knows how long some of them have been living in the UK. Ẹlòmíì bá bí nísìnyí pé báwo lọ ṣe mú ẹ òun gbà máa bèèrè pé òun ò tẹ kó jẹ yóò. They will catch you. They will pick you up. So when we are saying that Africa back country, ẹ̀yin tẹ wá ní Jagaban ó tún lọ ṣe sí, terrorists is currently now becoming more powerful than the Nigerian military. And the last thing you want is not a military coup, but the same terrorists to overpower Tinubu and probably not kill him because he might be protected to the last day, but he might end up in exile. But Otikobu Awatoku is a problem. With the situation of where it is right now, gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ Àtíkù Peter Obi gbogbo game tí gbogbo wọn fi gbá yẹn Yorùbá yẹn Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá yẹn, they are criminals. They are all under their own interest, not the interest of the Yoruba people or the Igbo people or the Hausa people. The politicians about their interest. Nobody is interested. How can people vote for you as PDP and you have not finished your tenure and you have already changed to APC? How? So what about me that I don't like APC, but I love you because you are PDP? Now you have forced me to go and love APC that I don't love. That is what is happening in Nigeria today. That is going to explode. Everybody is just lying low. Everybody is lying low. They are just waiting for the spark. Let's listen before I come back so that I can move away from this. Pakistan is now training terrorists in Nigeria. I am not surprised because I have followed Pakistan very well. Pakistan harbors a lot of terrorists. Don't even use their airline. They become a great bad They harbor a lot of terrorists. So that means they are flying their own people from their country in Pakistan straight into our own Yoruba land and Nigeria or whatever you want to call it and train people. How many have they trained? When I tell you that we have a lot of sleeper cells, just yesterday during my broadcast, the same Nigerian army is telling us that they were able to intercept the terrorists in Lagos, 11 states. Remember the headline yesterday that I gave you? Can't remember what the headline talks about, but if I go back into because I did a short video about it, and I remember I did a screenshot. I call it snipper. There's something I got on my laptop. It's called snipper. It's about Gincom. And I think I have it here. No, not this one. I think it's this one. Troops arrest 18 soldiers and 15 police officers on Typhoon. Found terrorists. And Lagos State was part of where they nicked them as well. 11 states. Lagos, that is one of our backbone in Yoruba land today, based on the father Ibn Kolodotoju. Because Ondo State, Oyo State, and all other states could be doing 3-4 times better than Lagos if we are in a Yoruba country. Because we're not going to focus all our energy in Lagos alone. We will divert or divert into all other states. So that there will not be pressure in Lagos State. Channels Television yesterday. And now I saw this yesterday and everything is adding up. And we are saying that on the push out by Yoruba country. Some of you are now saying, oh, get Tinubu to Russia and consider now. When can get Tinubu and consider? Oh, no, 8 years. Already Tinubu, Nigeria will break on him whether he likes it or not. The end of Nigeria, there will be chaos and destruction, not by us. We don't know what Asari Dokubo they're planning for Tinubu. Do you know? Are you in their meeting? Are you in their WhatsApp group? If you WhatsApp group, do you know how many voice notes that people send that you don't listen to? You don't know what the people are planning, for job people are planning. You don't even know what the Hausas are planning. So everybody is planning something and they're cooking it, and everything is going to just Omaruni. By the time do you know that people don't know there's a fire until they start seeing the black smoke? And people start finding solution. Nigeria ti ń jóná mọ́ wa lórí díẹ̀ díẹ̀ o. Ẹ má yẹ ká sun àsùnpara ká máa ní àǹfi sentiment. Some of us are putting sentiment to it. And the reality needs to be told. Is either we do it now. Look, Aroy, or what's on? While I was sitting here, my back end team was telling me that a tiger, Opanyo. Tiger Opanyo, okay. I'm sure some of you have seen the post. It is true. This man did not know that this tiger was going to attack him. Tiger thought he moved, only God knows what happened. Bí abi tó ti fọwọ́ kàn wá níbi tó dẹ̀ yóò ló ṣèlú. Wà láìta láìsí mọ́ bí láì làzí láwọ́. Nílé stop nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà kò ń ṣàwà nìkan lásán nísìn. When I was reading the comments, some say that it's good. You know, how can you be playing with tiger? Kò ń ṣe pet. àwọn kan ní bó ṣe fọwọ́ kan ni, àwọn kan nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni, ó pa ni. This was captured on a live video. How many of you have seen it? If you have not seen it, the news is still in front of me because this laptop has been on all day. No, come on, sleep mode. And this happened in Thailand. But the man that was killed is from India. So Indian news, you think, can you see? And the headline was, Indian man attacked by tiger in Thailand while taking a selfie. You have pushed Nigeria to the wall and they will react nasty. If you think that the Biafra are quiet, they are pained, and you can tell that they shut down the whole of Southeast yesterday to honor their fallen heroes that was killed by Britain. Some of them disagree that, we are also involved because we supported Nigeria, the Yorubas. And that's why they always call us the Yaribas, the this and that. We can never be one. So that's why we better come and law. And the ones that want to operate on our land, we will know who they are, and we will still let them operate under the rules and regulation of our land. But what we are doing right now, the Igbos will cost you. And they are still going to be in your land, and you cannot do fuckery to them. The threatening money in Lagos State. The Igbos are telling us now that we cannot have a Valoja in Alaba. One challenge you are. So rather than us to have a country, so that we can rewrite our history back quickly, not that we're going to chase them away. If they are comfortable to be then they have the right to close their business, sell their house, and go back to their land. That's what we are saying. But you want to play the dirty game and the dirty politics and stay want Tinubu and abuse the Igbo. Oriogwe, bomb bastard. You cannot have your cake and eat it. You want to attack the same Igbo and you still want to be in Nigeria. You cannot. So we are better off to have different nations, and then we can have citizens of Biafra in our land. Just like I am a Nigerian living in the UK because I think my country. Any to got British passport, Lole Mano in Nigeria, abroad, British passport. So whatever doesn't have an American passport, it's just a citizen. He has the right to go into America and come back. He doesn't need a visa. That is the difference between me and Soro. I don't need to go to embassy now and apply for visa. I did that in 1998 on my first leg going to UK, and I got my visa in Abuja. There's 60 million people no money opportunity to see UK. My in-laws now have tried to get them to the UK. They're not giving them a visa. But when we have our Yoruba country, we can then rewrite history, rewrite our economy, rewrite our security, and have a cordial relationship with the same UK. If the UK is not going to give us a visa, we're not even going to apply for visa. If they're not going to allow our citizens to go to their country, then they're not going to do as well, because our land is enough to feed us and look after ourselves and trade elsewhere. But I want you to understand, you want to fight the Igbo and you still want to be in Nigeria. Don't make sense. What do you mean? So I want to want to go back game. But the same Aregbesola ate out of Lagos State and then ran to Osun State and become a governor after 8 years. What happened after 2031? Tinubu might restructure Nigeria. No, Tinubu wa kula ni eleleme. Mo bere ni o se ileleme e tó bá kú Buhari òkú ìwọ mọ̀ bí Buhari gbogbo nìyẹn. Mo bere ni. Why are the Yoruba people thinking stupidly and they're using paperwork and be saying we are doing analysis? Which way the analysis lension? Let's get the hell out of this country now. Let's have a Yoruba country so that we can stop Pakistan from bringing any terrorists closer to Yoruba land. Because right now Yoruba land is just open to every dick and harry. We don't know. I met a custom officer recently, this last week, Jenny Friday, the week on there. Only border to one Yoruba, is more than 150 from Benin Republic. Only border to one custom officer, only to 150. Mwani she gbogbo border alone man, only hair, ni bo láti possible. So every day you are sleeping, you are building your house, you don't know the infiltrators that are coming into the land, and they might end up moving closer to you. Only there will take out. You what on support you for Yoruba country. And life is about give and take. Only God knows what happened in Thailand. This man did not travel to Thailand to die. Oh Lord, see Thailand. Thailand is a beautiful place. Touristic place. Tourism. They don't have anything. Tourism of India. But you gotta be very careful because I want to do the pony begon. You gotta be very careful. You can see a female, you might end up taking it to the hotel, you realize that only one bag. But a lot of people travel there. It's a place that you can visit, But what we are saying is that tó bá sọ fún ọmọ boy nísìnyí tó kú pé you will die in the hands of tiger. Mi lọ kò sí nǹkan tó jọ. So all I'm saying before we wind down the broadcast, and I appreciate everybody before I go, is that we should be firm and tell Tinubu, which is the most important part. And I will not interrupt the reading again now. As the president of all Nigerians, you ought to listen to what increasing numbers of important Nigerian men and women, including northern men and women, are saying more and passionately these days. They are saying that it is more sensible for the people of Nigeria to find a way to separate peacefully now, rather than insisting on holding on to a Nigeria that is already crumbling, rather than delaying Nigeria implodes, rather than delaying Nigeria implodes. Sorry, my mouse moved a little bit forward. I don't know whether forward or backwards. Apology to those of us that are listening. I think I have to come down a little bit. Sorry about that, everybody. My mouse moved it a little bit and now I've lost that part. I'll find it in a minute. While I'm trying that, let's continue with this.
The Nigerian military has now arrested 4 Pakistani nationals suspected of arms trafficking and training terror groups in the country's northeast. But sharing the details, the army said the arrested men are also offering some technical and tactical support to groups like the ISWAP and the JAS.
Rather than insisting on holding on to Nigeria that is already crumbling, rather than delaying until Nigeria implodes in a generalized and messy war that could take millions of lives. I have said it, millions of people will die before we cross the other way around. Already millions of people are dying in Nigeria if you go back from 1960 or from 1914. So whatever we add to it is just going to make it a million. So it's not literally that 1 million people will die. I have said 1 million people will die before we go. But Tabalo Gubanto Kubo Latin 1914, death that should not have happened, death should have been avoidable from 1960, from 1999. You realize that it is already close to a million. So whatever happens will be a top up to make it a million. The signs are already unmistakable. The signs are there. Everybody can say the signs, but we live in denial. The signs are there. Gugualari signs that Nigeria is crumbling, Nigeria is dying, Nigeria is dead. But we're living in denial. Just like Tinubu is playing politics with the lives of indigenous people. The signs are already unmistakable. War, Ogun, W-A-R, is already on in Nigeria. How many people agree that there's a war in Nigeria right now? I know I'm not reading the comment because I'm trying to focus. I know a lot of you are commenting. I will catch up with it. I will read it. I am not in a hurry. Please go and sleep. I am still celebrating my birthday. I should be speaking to my children. They are in holiday, my wives, but I'm still here. You know, they've accepted their fate that in Togo one fishing here. I will still have time with them tomorrow. But you are spending the birthday with me. I know a lot of you expected the rally to have happened in the month of May. Our father said the rally is not yet cancelled. Well, not the cancel rally. One rally is in Bo. Or 41 Begiri. Our de Kekodani. So can you eat the soup where rats don't enter? Even if you are hungry, you eat that a cup on its own, but not with that stew. So I don't want us to feel upset, angry with ourselves when our leaders knows exactly the way around. Some might be telling you, that is why I am telling the politician that pain is better than listen, or else they will find themselves in a hot soup. Anybody. Don't expect any country to come and rescue you. We first have to come out and defend. Please love this broadcast. Sorry. Love the broadcast and help me to share because it is in the interest of everybody. Eshegoni, owó ni máa gbà lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Peter. Iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ní London tó bá ṣe fún mi ní £30 kò pọ̀ jù. Owó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa. Owó ni mo fẹ́ gbà. Not just happy birthday with money, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, so that at least I can send money to Omodua, call it on my behalf. Let's come back. I said this is the most important part that I'm begging Tinubu. I am pleading with Sheyi Tinubu. Don't joke with your father's life. I don't have any problem with your father. I don't have any problem. But our problem will be that if your father say is insisting on going for 2027, we are insisting from 2025, we are exiting this nonsense country. I know you are capable yourself. You are a man. I'm a man. Look, I am 47 years old today. I'm 1978. I have told you, Sheyi Tinubu, let us look. Your future can be bright in Yoruba land. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not here begging you more. But sorry to ban Sokwe, go shut up. Because I know you see that with your colleagues, the Bati wa attention 5G. You cannot bribe me. That's number one. But you will not be the governor of Lagos State. We will destroy everything. There will not be Lagos State. I am 47. I have lived life to the fullest. I am still praying for long life. Oh, the governor of Lagos State. I can assure you that. You will not be the governor of Lagos State. Everything will be done to make sure that our exit happens before 2027. That is why we are pushing now. And you cannot come and be Lagos State governor while someone who is still there. Hey, they declare state of emergency. But bell to bell, declare state of emergency. Lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Òun kàn nílé padà sí body lawn. Mélòó ni body lawn sí ẹ máa gbé gbogbo body lawn lọ sí Abuja ni. Ẹ má doubt it, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ti wà in pain, àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà wà in pain. The whole country will explode. Bàbá ẹ̀ máa ṣe wọn ní. Ìtí bàbá Akintoye ní sọ fún ẹni ẹ bàbá ẹ̀ máa padà ṣẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹ̀wọ̀n ló máa kú sí. Kò sárúgbó pé arúgbó àgbàlagbà ń ṣẹ̀wọ̀n láì lóyìnbó wá ṣe abẹ́ máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n. Ẹ sọ fún Ṣèyí Tinubu bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ bá ń fa account number síta. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi fẹ́ fún mi lówó ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ ẹni máa sẹ́ndẹ̀ sẹ́ mo ní nọ́mbà lọ́wọ́ Peter Ọládélé èèyàn ti gbowó ṣá ó ti bínú sí mi tán nígbà tí gbowó wá wà padà sọ́tẹ̀ out nítorí pé lẹ́gbọ̀n tàbí nìyẹn kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ láíláí. Ẹ sọ fún Tinubu, I will read this many times kó tó di pa jáde fún rally. There are signs that Nigeria is currently at war àti wà nínú ogun. Even Professor Wole Soyinka said that. What do you expect me to do when we are currently at war? All I can advise is everybody go and mobilize. That is what we are doing right now. So any diaspora, go back to your groups, Ilana Ọmọ Oòduà, YSDM Europe, and fund them so they can help your people back home. I can assure you that your people on the ground will defend the ancestral land on your behalf. Ketode. Call Emola, call all the groups in London, in America, in Canada, and start funding it. Some of you have not want to do anything now because you are thinking that it's not going to happen. If you can still help now, I am saying call the YSDN Euro Central, the Ilano groups, who are in America, who are in Canada. Fund them. And if you don't want to fund them, call your people on the ground. I want the Bama and prepare them because Ijambo. Àwọn tó ń gbógun bọ̀ multiplayer fún yín nísìn Pakistan ń train àwọn èèyàn àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ yàn train àwa o. I wish I have learned how to use gun but I didn't have the time. On train phone I could have gone for a training but I didn't have the time because I was too busy in the last 5 years doing this. But my only weapon is my mic. You see this mic? That is my own weapon for now. I will use it to destroy the image of Nigeria because Nigeria is not a country. And anybody should come and prove to me that Nigeria is a country that Yoruba people should start, trying to work with. We are not Tinubu. That's why we are wanting Tinubu. It cannot stop the agenda for Yoruba to become an independent country because Awolowo died. Tinubu will die as well at some point. When? I don't know. So Tinubu nobody can stop it. Obama pada waja náà ni. Where is the Aláàfin now? Where is Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ now? So that shows that the people that we see before, we can't see them anymore. So one day will be one day. Yoruba land will be there, and whoever doesn't want it to be there, and for those of you that are fighting the Igbos, you can't fight the Igbos while you're still in Nigeria. 2 ways around it. Let's get to Yoruba nation and let's draft a new constitution that will protect our land. And the Igbos, the Hausas, and whoever wants to live with us, the Oyinbos, the Europeans, the Chinese, the first thing is they will respect our land. The laws of the land. You cannot use the law of the land now against the Igbos. They will fight you back. They will take you to court. They will prove that they are part of Nigeria, that British created, even though they are not part of Nigeria because everybody has where they come from. So, just to wrap this up, then I can read comment, then I will quickly give us a summary of the Western Togo, Timothy Fisile as well. Because we're already about 3 hours into the program. so that we can wrap it up maximum by 2, hopefully. The signs are already unmistakable, according to Baba Akintoye to Tinubu. War, ogun, Otimanu Nigeria is already in Nigeria. So, shut up. Everybody knows there's war in Nigeria. You can live in denial, that is your own bloody problem, not mine. Nigeria is already frightening, similar to Yugoslavia of 1990. 1990, I'm not in 1990. I think they're about 26, if I'm right. So one more 26 don't say fún mi pé kí shut up wo irú tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí ìgbà tó ń tí bàbá ẹ̀ àti ìyá ẹ̀ tó ṣe jigijigi tó bí ẹni 1990 wọ́n jago burúkú ní Yugoslavia ọmọ àlè wọ́n bastard tó sọ fún wa pé kí shut up níjọ́ bí bàbá ẹ̀ ṣé bàbá ẹ̀ dàgbà tó bàbá ó dàgbà tó bàbá Akintoye ẹ̀ púpọ̀ ní bàbá yín tó ti pé 90 ó wà nílé ní sense fún fídíẹ̀ ni bàbá Akintoye máa ń dá jẹun ni àní bàbá máa ń dìde báyìí kò ní láti ṣe máa fọwọ́ gbé chair dúró so wọ́n máa sọ fún mi pé Nàìjíríà máa dá ìjẹ́ ọ̀lọ́bí bàbá ẹ̀ ìjẹ́ ọ̀lọ́bí ẹ̀ ìwọ́n tó bí ní 1990 ṣé wọ́n o witness àti MK Abiola tó fi ṣe president tó fi ṣe election ṣègbè 1993 you were 3 years old idiot àwọn TikTok àwọn Indomie shut up Nigeria will be better for Nigeria you no go better for Nigeria stop deceiving yourself o lè better fún Nigeria kankan so better kó súnmọ́ Yorùbá nation Yorùbá country ilẹ̀ Odùduwà kílẹ̀ yẹn lè gbé ẹ torí Nigeria ò ní gbé anybody just to close that. Nigeria is already frighteningly similar to Yugoslavia of 1990. By 1989, Yugoslavia was already close to breaking up. And some of the nations of Yugoslavia had been agitating for self-determination and a sovereign statehood for some years. Just like how ṣe nísìn. Ó ti pẹ́ lójú wa, but lóòótọ́ kò pẹ́. Báwọn ọmọ Yugoslavia náà ṣe ń fight títí. Nígbà tó lórí burúkú ìjọba wọn ò fẹ́ gbọ́ tó fi gbà. Ó wá di kíni. But the strongest political leaders be Tinubu nisin. Yes, Tinubu is a strong Yoruba politician. There's no doubt about it. We give him close to that. But in totally ìrànlọ́wọ́ nisin ni pé kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ 2027. Push Nigeria to the final breakup and let everybody go their separate ways. Why dem agbóríyìn? Some of them, like Tinubu today, refuse and insisting on holding Yugoslavia together. Our politician, àwọn Yayi, Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún Gbénga Dání. Tabayabo wọn. No, tabayabo wọn ṣáwọn lè dúró. Mélòó lára wọn? Mélòó lolóṣèlú tó fẹ́ ní ọlọ́pàá mélòó la máa pèsè? Wá kó gbogbo ọlọ́pàá tó wà bára ṣe. Àná àbáni kankan jà, àwọ̀ wá jà, ìjà kọ́lá fẹ́ jà. Bọ́ àkíṣọ́mọ àlè, àdẹ̀ṣe káwọ́ọ̀tì. Bọ̀ múra sílẹ̀ fún ogun. Torí Nàìjíríà, torí ogun ní Nàìjíríà wà nínú ẹ̀. So àwọn tó máa kó jáde yẹn, àwọn fi wá ja ogun ni. So àwa náà tàbí fi jáde agbọ́dọ̀ dira dáadáa. Bọ̀ kó ìkẹ́ àmì ìbọn, kì í tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn yẹn, àwọn bá ṣe lè gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn tó bá dójú ẹ̀. Tó bá dójú ẹ̀ èyí tó wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn yẹn àwọn bá ṣe máa gbà torí àwọn ní kọ̀ọ̀kan tàbí fi jà bó sórí ìbílẹ̀ yẹn tó bá lè ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa díẹ̀ sí níwọ̀nba díẹ̀ tó tún fún yìí kódà tá a bá ti jáde gan o lè máa ṣèbílẹ̀ yẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìwọ tó dẹ̀ mọ báíbù lò máa lò gbogbo àtẹni tó rọ́ lápá àtẹni tó rọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ àtẹni tó fọ́ lójú gbogbo ọ̀làna kóra wá jáde tó bá wá bí Tinubu dá kó jẹ́kẹ́jẹ́ ta sílẹ̀ gbogbo generation ẹ̀ títí dé Ọ̀ṣun state tó ti wá yẹn wọn ní gbádùn ayé wọn àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé ìkà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe fún tó bá ṣe pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní Tinubu ti gbé gbogbo owó tó ń ná tó ń lò tó fi ń ṣe tó ń ṣe lénìí tó bá tásìkò yìí kó ṣe jàmbá fún wa. Yugoslavia ultimately imploded violently into a war that took hundreds of thousands of lives. A war so viciously bloody that it has destroyed forever the names of powerful politicians. If Tinubu is not careful, one, ànírántí Tinubu ìmọ̀ láyé ayé máa fi parẹ́ ayé ò dẹ̀ ní parẹ́ bí àṣà grandma mi anáyé kankan parẹ́ èèyàn nú ẹ̀ ló máa kú wá dẹ̀ máa bí sí láti jọ́ tó sọ fún ipá ayé máa parẹ́ nísìnyí Jesus ń bọ̀ kíní kan bọ̀ máa yẹ kẹ́ni kankan gbẹ̀ ń gbogbo. Let me leave that for now. Màá tún ṣàlàyé bẹ̀rẹ̀ fún yín dọ̀dà tí bá láǹfààní àtúntún jáde lọ́la táwọn family mi bá gbà mí láyè because I don't know what they plan for me tomorrow or today rather because it's my birthday. But mo fẹ́ gbé wa dé Western Togo. Some of you don't know Western Togo, but go to one of our listeners, dear mom in America. He sent me this quite link, and I'll do a further quick research. Not that I don't know Western Togo, but something came up as they're also part of the UNPO. UNPO, tell me, UNPO, yes, that UNPO is still valid. I need to charge this phone. If not, I don't know how many battery he has left. Let's put that book away. I need to charge this because this is going to go off if I don't charge it. Let's use this one. I hope this one is not giving. Yeah, let's use another one. Gbogbo batch wọn ti kú. Shit for country. Let's take a bit of water. Let me put on my small fan here. But there are air condition for me in Africa. When I got this exact link, I'm seeing it for the first time. This particular headline I'm going to give us now. Western Togo is also registered as Yoruba people have done on the UNPO. So they are using the UNPO to fight their case. This is now like talking from somebody that wants peace. I am now a man that wants peace. Diplomacy, policy, if that is going to be the situation. So let's read a little bit. But before we even go into reading a little bit, we first need to understand this Western Togoland. And the best person that can give us this is one professor that we have used a lot of his video. I call it, I've sent him an email before. I told him to talk about Yoruba people, but maybe he hasn't found the time to do so. His name is Professor James K. Lindsay. And he actually replied me. Maybe he will have taken it further to do so. Now, there is something that he has done 4 years ago by giving us a background of this Western Togo. Western Togo is another country that criminal Britain joined with Ghana. I'm just giving you the brief so that you have an idea. The mess. Let me close some of what I've opened because it seems my browser is overworking. At the Nipa Island, Nipa United Nations, Nigeria became a member of the United Nations in 1960, October 7. And Nipa lost a few minutes time. We'll finish it together in just 20-something minutes. It will not be more than 3 hours, 30 minutes. Even though I still want to appreciate every single one of you and those of you that have left already. Now, we want to talk about the Western Togo, and I'm just going to give us just a brief. I want video just to back it up. And Mawa Santo Shele between Western Togo and Ghana. Western Togo is a self-proclaimed state. Kilongwen is self-proclaimed. A number of politics have declared independent and sought diplomatic recognition. What we don't want to do is we go straight and declare, but we are still going to need recognition. But what we want to do is that we need our kings. They're not going to do it, which they could have been better for us. Yoruba nation not going back. It makes it very easy. But they're not doing it because they're part of the British stooge. Britain on Bashishe. The few that are not working for Britain probably don't have the voice as I want to take in land. That is why we need the millions of Yoruba people to come out and defend the land. It might be not anybody because of the time tonight. So, Western Togo, which is considered by international community to be part of Ghana. The last thing we want is that we don't want to end up where, even if we have got to where we will declare Yoruba nation, they are still going to tell us, no, we are Nigerians. No. We are declaring and everything inside Yoruba land cease to exist as Nigeria. That way, at the first tight corner, they will have to negotiate with us. Because they will not be able to use our port, they will not be able to use our land, our sea. We will stop everything. They have to stop making an entire then they will start talking to whoever is our leader. Who is our leader? You can be part of the committee. Because that question is always rising up. No. Not those criminal politicians. But what the world is doing is they play the same game. The first thing is, Western Togo, join them. Yes. Let's listen to Professor Lindsay that is explaining that to us here.
The Western Togoland Restoration Front announced the creation of an independent state of Western Togoland in southeast Ghana. In the weeks that followed, a number of violent incidents occurred across the region, suggesting that a serious secessionist uprising may now be emerging. But what exactly is the Western Togoland issue, and just how seriously should we take these current developments?
So he's going to explain to us what is Western Togo and how did he get to the stage where they are right now. Let's go back.
News to the channel. My name is James Curley, and here I take an informed look at international relations, secession, independence, and the origins of countries. Around the world, there are many territories that have come together either voluntarily or against their will.
Now, there are many countries that have been forced together against their will, like Yoruba people, Biafra, Hausa. So coming back again there before we go back to that video, the fact is just that what I want us to understand first is that The German Empire established the Togoland Protectorate, just like the British did the same thing with Southern Protectorate and Western Protectorate. There was nothing called Nigeria until it was joined together. They now call it Nigeria in 1914. The same thing with the Togoland. So the Togoland Protectorate, officially Togoland Protectorate, was a protectorate of German Empire, just like the British Empire on our own side. In West Africa, not new. From 1884 to 1914. So as at that time, this criminal, they were running all this land as if it is their annex. So what we want to do now is to challenge Britain that this land does not belong to you, and we would have to ask you to renegotiate your terms and conditions with the Yoruba government. But Britain doesn't want to do that. Britain wants to continue to use Nigeria against the will of the indigenous people and force us to 2075 and say, if we another 50 years, that is what Britain is proposing to Yoruba people and Nigerians, that we will live after 2075 and hand it officially to you. If we wait for that, many of you will not cease to be alive. I will be 97 years old. The chances that I'll be alive, I don't know. So you can think about it now, whether we fight it together or you leave it for Britain to come and give it to you in 50 years' time. That is even if we're not from you. So just to jump forward, I should want to share analysis in that. Now, the actual story that came out from this Western Togo, now that I've given you some background, I don't have to go further with, Professor. If I just go further, it's still going to say the same thing I'm saying, but in his own words. So rather than waste time there, on the 17th of May, which is just this month, about 13 days ago, 2025, the UNPO, then your Mobadwe, Tiba Bakito Egiwalo, Tafinche backing or Yoruba Nation, is celebrates the recent decision made by the Economic Community of West African States, don't the ECOWAS court, just like ECOWAS favor IGBOHO as well during his fight with the federal government. I'm sure some of you forgot that because we told you then that we took Nigeria to ECOWAS court, even though the case with the International Criminal Court is still there, but that takes a long time. But now, UNPO, Western Togo celebrate. They are not a country yet, even though they are declaring that they have already become a country, but they have not gained recognition. That Court of Justice, which found that the Republic of Ghana, they don't follow Europeans, just like Tinubu follow France. All these criminal presidents that they call themselves, that they're president of Africa, has breached the fundamental human right of the peoples of Western Togo, is now ordering the Ghana government to pay $75,000. I don't think Ghana is going to pay because Ghana doesn't recognize them as country. Ghana believe that Western Togo is part of them because 1956, if I go further, during the First War in 1914, Britain and France invaded the Protectorate. But something now happened. Togoland became a United Nations Trust Territory. Trust Territory, where the successor of the remaining League of the Nations mandate and came into being when the League of Nations ceased to exist in 1946. That was under the British administration. In 1956, British Togoland status plebiscite. Plebiscite. Most of the lawyers in Nigeria are self-determination. Why are we not having a plebiscite to decide whether we still want to remain one or not? But all these criminal lawyers that are today will tell you, no, Nigeria is still working so that they can continue to fight on behalf of the criminal politicians after election. Like Tinubu will say go to court. There was a Togoland status plebiscite. 58% of the Western Togolese voted to integrate into what would become the independence of 1957 of Ghana. 158%. They had a plebiscite. Today, the Nigerian government is running away from asking the Biafra if they truly want to remain in one Nigeria or not. Or the Yorubas or the Hausas. Rather, they're telling everybody, election Timboya, Ewa 5,000, all these criminal bomb bastard politicians. Now, on the May 9, 2007, the Homeland Study Group Foundation unsuccessfully tried to declare the independence of Western Togoland. On the 7th of May 2019, the National Executive of a volatile separatist group, Homeland Study Group, Emmanuel IGBOHO, has rejected the claim that the group had a militia. Independent. On September 25, 2020, why Yoruba Nation? Do you know that secessionists, as they call them, demanded that Ghanaian security force leave the volatile region after attacking several police stations in the North Togo district of the volatile region. In a press statement declaring their secession from Ghana, the Homeland Study Group Foundation, under the leadership of Charles Comey, declared sovereignty over the area. So you can see that ayé yóò rọrùn torí pé kò bá rọrùn tó bá jẹ́ pé Britain tọwọ́ bọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀. So we will blame Britain and France for majority of the obstacle that every African country is enduring today. And for Yoruba people to be free and to be free for the rest of their life, you would have to also come out in wherever you are around the world when Baba Akintoye finally made the call for us to come out and defend the ancestral land that belongs to us. If otherwise, everybody should go and wait till 2075 when Britain might think they might return it back to us peacefully, even though I know it will not happen. So let me quickly say thank you so much, Muki Yawa Stella Shodainde. Good evening to you as well. Muki Yawa Taiwo Kikefa Somi. Please, we want proof Akintoye and CSI to call on Yoruba hip hop star, Fuji star, Christians, Islamic singer to support Yoruba nation to make it stronger and faster. Some of them might respond. If I tell you, Alaja, Toshe, studio ni. I might not have the time to play the music tonight, but we played it the other day, and we might play it some other day as well. Yes, if all the Fuji stars, the Christians and Islamic singer all support Yoruba nation, it will go and lead us faster. But they're not going to do so because some of them are scared and some of them are puppet to politicians. Muki our comfort, Anuluakwa Shegoniwa, Grandma Muki Mukitoto, Darukoima Shegoni, Sister Muki Dada Alaba, Onka Radio TV, the undefeated White Lion. Thank you so much, Muki Babawa Simon Oyedari Adebisi. I'm just winding up now, so I'm just greeting our people before we all go to bed. Prince Adebayo Shitumuki, Matthew Otumba Olamilekon Adebawale. Mr. Kola says, happy birthday to you, brother. You are not a destroyer of Nigeria, but the creator of Yoruba nation, Nigeria, destroyed itself. Eshegoni, I am not a destroyer. Nigeria destroyed itself because it never gave everybody the opportunity to have a better life. Thank you so much, and I love when people give me advice. Mukiba Baba Dewumati, happy birthday, Mr. Koiki. Kenzie Abiola Fakonda says, Ekweto, and the Usmani, Ekweto, Yawa Stella Shodainde says, I wish you happy birthday, long life and prosperity, and good health, peace and mind riches. May God bless your new age, which is very, very important. Because Tabala Lafia no Laleshibule, Muki Yawa Ola Chirekoka for the super chat. Mr. Victor Adebayo said 90% of the people are super hungry. Nigeria is history, Yoruba nation now. Akinwumi Babalola, Yoruba nation not going back. Prophet Amure Oluwashola, Ekweto sir, Mr. Koiki, Yoruba nation no going back. Mr. Waris Jinadoni, European Union is an association that was born in the 90s, and indigenous people self-determination like indigenous Yoruba land is unlike EU, UN, and AU. Atiwa before our organization, and we need to push to get back as the lead of the world. One more power in Maladi, and they will do everything to want to take us down. Mokiawa Esther Ewetiga, she called me this morning. Thank you so much, Grandma Eshegoni JP. Waris Jinadu says EU, AU, UN is not an indigenous people, and they don't give you a country. All these people don't give any country. I mean, this organization. Mr. Jacob Gabon, Nikoiki with a super chat. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much. My mom says, Waris Jinadu, Koiki Media, long life and prosperity on your strive towards Yoruba land nation self-determination. I want us to remain focused. Let us not be determined. Let us not be weak. Whether we are out or not, be rest assured, we may not be doing everything Yoruba nation when we are out of the broadcast. But I can tell you that 80% of my day is focused on how we can actualize our dreams. Somebody called me from Owode local government. These are people that have been part of the movement, but they were having some concern just about tonight. I was speaking to Ilorin. So whether we are here or not, people call us, they send messages. 80% of my day from morning to night is actually for Yoruba nation. So whether you are seeing it live or you're not seeing it live, we are doing a lot of back work when we are not online. And it's not just me, across board with all others as well. Mokiyawa Esther Wetiga. It is a bloody cheek for Pakistan to come to Nigeria to train Boko Haram. Terrorist country, you say. Tomorrow or day before, after tomorrow, I'll say, I will give us more reason why I say that. Pakistan, mocking agenda, but we know the agenda is an Islamic country and we don't train. Islam is a good religion in the southwest, but anything after the southwest, forget it. They are jihadists. At now, influx of terrorism threats or traces in Yoruba land. You can tell from some of the scholars, Soro, the terrorists. Many children in UK converted to Islam and become terrorists just by watching videos online. All these UK government cramped on them. What converts Islam? So Islam, like I said, in the southwest gbóhùn ẹ̀ kó wọ pátá nìkan kó máa lọ kò sẹ́ tó máa rí ẹ bó bá wọ ṣòkòtò ní Kwara State lẹ́nu nísìnyí wọn á nà ẹlẹ́gbàá whereas the same àwọn èèyàn wọn níbẹ̀ not all of them we saw ọmọ tó kun yẹ̀wọ̀n yẹn tó ṣàṣì wẹ́wẹ́ so mo kí bàbá Táíwò Ọlá Ìwọlá happy birthday to you your new glorious day mo kò gbogbo àti fún alówó lè ní o ká tó máa lọ ìkọ́ ààrẹ tó ní Koiki àti sẹ́ni owó sàkàǹtẹ̀ happy birthday mo kàn ká látàárọ̀ Grandma Lee Ajayi is from Ìjàgbóyà Ìgbójayé níbi tó ti bọ̀bọ̀ tó gún yẹn wọ́n ní akọni ọkùnrin ni Ọlọ́run ló ní kó jà màlá tẹ́wé dúdú dáadáa Aziz all the way in Miami mo kí ẹ dáadáa brother no ní media gbogbo media happy birthday to you my brother Prophet Amore Olúṣọlá happy birthday to you my Mr. Koiki ìyàwó Esther Olúrẹ̀mí Ọ̀gábí ìyá mi ẹ kú ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá agbèwà lórúkọ Jésù ká má gbàgbé bàbá Akintoye ní 3 days Monday Tuesday Wednesday we should fast and I had it again ẹ má ní Koiki ló sọ o bàbá ní kí gbogbo akálọ prepare white bàbá ló sọ o I had him at the interview with Alhaja Queen Ara and Emola yesterday. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. I didn't download the video in time, but the YouTube channel of the Yoruba World Media seems to be down. I hope they have a backup of the video so that we can have it, as an extract to use. One can be one white, and toba white, and toba ni ko wo, toba ni flag, master, and toba ni ko wo, toba ti jan ka jade, about my daddy, but bati solan way on my announcement here, and that's all I can say. Kilomita jade ni monti, babani, amawa jade, wasoba jade. That's all I can say. We follow our leaders, we follow the instruction. Tó bá dẹ̀ know they follow wọn. Tó bá dàrọ̀ làkó jáde tí gbogbo ti wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. So àmọ́ tó máa ṣe fún yín. But tí gbogbo bá jáde kò lè ṣe kankan fún gbogbo wa. Torí àmọ́ pé bàbá Akintoye ti fọwọ́ síta. A kọ̀ máa dún hún lábẹ́lẹ̀ níbi ẹlẹ́dẹ̀. Tó bá wọn kó gbọ́, kó máa wọn kó má gbọ́. Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí àti mo kí bàbá Waris, mo kí ta ló tún wà ń bẹ̀ before I go. Ìyá mi Ajé Olókun mo kí ẹ ṣe gan-an ẹ̀kọ́ àìsàn gbogbo wa. Happy birthday once again from ìyá wa Ajé Olókun. Mo mọ̀ pé ìmọ̀ àwọn ránṣẹ́ sí mi náà. Account number is there again in case you want it. Let me post it out for those of you that are asking. Let's go on the Facebook and also appreciate those of you that are there on the Twitter. Adarijo Moshe, we went on the Twitter space. Somebody is asking for a request. I'm sorry, it's too late. Queen Beauty, I'm very sorry. I gotta go to bed now. We pray for Simon Ekpa. We should not be concerned about the game that Nigeria is playing with Finland. They will give him 6 years for terrorism. Let Musa travel to defend Nigeria at the court. They will finish them. They cannot. I told you they are not going to bring Simon Ekpa back. But Nigerians are gullible idiots. They go with the Nigerian media. Simon Ekpa, go come Nigeria, we can't go prison, we go deal with it. Àwọn Igbo náà bàjá o. Bomb bastard. Tẹ bá àwọn Igbo tó ṣe ń bu ọ̀fẹ́ rẹ̀ bó ṣe wáyé o. So, but Ọlọ́run àbáwá yọ níbi tó wà, just like Ọlọ́run your brother wa náà. So, who else is there before I go? Let's quickly. Mr. Mutil, thank you so much. I think I've come across everybody. Usman Wahab, thank you very much. Baba Kunle Shita, video. We had a lot of people that have watched it. Some of them have just watched it. They just want to know what next. Kilo Mashele, continue to tell lies. Well, Britain told you too much lies, so you will not even know when we are telling you the truth. Because you have lived under lies for the 110 years of our lives. Iraq. And what is the lie? Nigeria. If only we know what we know now, many years ago, things would have shut down prior before now. But never too late, they say. Moki Peter Ladele, Moki Mr. Ola Omoba, Moki Bobo Groups, Patapata, Ilanomo Doa, Fellow Doom, Ishokomo Doa, London Group. And we're using this opportunity before I go. There's going to be a burial of one of our uncle. The wife is in London. They are strong member of the Yoruba Nation campaign movement. Whoever is in London or whoever can travel down, it would be great if we can honor the family. Moki Mr. Adewale Abuasiu, thank you so much. I want to give all the details of the burial. The father, the uncle, the grandfather that died is Mr. Samuel Ajibola Bamidele Adesonya. Let us give him 1 minute of our time for his soul to continue to rest in peace, and those that died as well. 1 minute from now. his gentle soul continue to rest in peace. He was born in 1957. He died this year, 2025. The service of song would take place at St. Barnabas Church near Omartin Street. I'm sure many of us know Omartin is very close to Omartin Hospital. E96 Delta Lima. The flyer is already out there. It's going to happen at 7 p.m. sharp. Dress code is white. If you are privileged to attend, the wife attends almost all our rallies. She has been part of the movement with the husband. Some family fight each other, especially after Duko Onitiri came. Family split as well. But this family remained loyal to Baba Akintoye and IGBOHO. So let's continue to pray for the family. The burial will now take place. The funeral is on the 12th of June, which is still about 2 weeks from now, Thursday, where there will be songs of praise at St. Barnabas Church, near Omartin. I'm sure if you find the postcode, you can find out how you will find yourself there if you're traveling by public transport or if you're driving. I am not going to be around, hopefully not. But if you are going to be around, please do try as much as possible to attend. The funeral itself takes place 2 days after, which is going to be at St. Mary's Church, High Street, Meeting Hall, Bury St. Edmund, which is IP287EE. That means that they're taking the burial to Ipswich. I believe that is the postcode, if I'm right. If you can travel with them, fine. If you cannot, then try to attend the London here, because the IP28, I believe that is Ipswich, if I know London very well. IE, not the I. Yeah, IP. Yeah, IP28. IP28, Ipswich here. IP28, UK. Yeah, Suffolk. Yeah, Midland. Yeah. So, I don't think everybody might be able to attend that, but if you can, it would be nice. But car support one car. They're not asking for money, but you know, if you can. They also have this website where people leave. I've done my own. You can leave your own. What's it called? Tribute. Colon Kodroti, our family in Kodroti Auntie Dada. She personally sent me this as well. Mrs. Jenny Adesonya. All about Droti, we love you. And uncle, like I said, is resting. And just like Yawa Janet Fashaki and the rest of them, we told you about the Kugi that died just a couple of days as well. Said Amabota and the rest of them, and those that we remember and those that we didn't remember to mention. We will have to fight it to the end. Eshegoni, Yoruba Space TV for the super chat. Thank you so much, my brother. We love you. I'm not sure whether you have the video downloaded before the YouTube channel went down. Baba Akintoye World Media. I was going to call you. If you have it, please upload it quickly so that I can extract what Baba Akintoye said yesterday. Moki Keke Okus. And as I leave us, good night, good morning, and I hope the message is clear. We went to our Twitter space. Hopefully, somebody will fund it so that we can have our MixLR back. We need to pay them $30. That's the reason why we now return on tonight. Or won't it is somewhere. So the little that we have, we cannot do more than what we can do. But hopefully, maybe I will have money tomorrow to pay for it. If otherwise, we will still manage what we have. And on that note, I have to go to bed now. It's exactly 2 o'clock in Africa. I know it's late for most of you as well. Thank you so much. And I hope we will continue to be loyal to our leaders. Emayeka Grumble, Nibakwe Wani Kajadi, Iti Jadi, Amaja. Baba Akintoye will give us the announcement. IGBOHO will give us the announcement. And we will eventually have our outing. Our serious outing. I call it Nigeria. Or go to one Nigeria, like people say. And like somebody said to me, stop saying you are destroying Nigeria. Nigeria destroy itself, and there's no remedy. And on that note, a very sweet dream. This is Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. If I didn't mention your name, please don't take it personal. Below for real, I cite you, my brother. And those of you that still want to help, please get in touch with all your groups across the world, especially Ilano and the YSDM that are set up that can at least, take funding that will also go straight to the movement. And on that note, good night.
Sherry, Tabashi sọ wípé ẹbí ò lè kú fún lágbájá, bí ò lè kú fún lágbájá. That means we will remember one place. We are not ready to free from the bondage. If truly we are ready to free from the bondage, we will stand up and fight the battle by ourselves without waiting for anybody, without saying, I don't want to die for somebody to live. One person must die, and God knows who is going to die. Gbogbo wa lè jọ survive kìíní. Mo sọ fún yín ní àsìkò kan, èmi gan jọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀mí ara mi sílẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n yí Ọlọ́run tí ó mọ ẹ̀mí mi lọ, mo dìídì jọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀mí mi sílẹ̀ wípé Olúwa mú ẹ̀mí mi lọ kó dẹ̀ gba Yorùbá nation fún wa. But look at it, ó yé Ọlọ́run bó ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́. Ìwọ tó rò pé wàá kú go lè má wàá kú. Ìwọ tó bẹ̀rù èmi kẹ̀ kí lọ kú mi ò lè kú o, mi ò fẹ́ kú o. Ó lè jẹ́wọ́ yẹn gan ló ní kú. Ó lè jẹ́wọ́ yẹn gan ló wá ní kú. So gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká dìde ká gbára wa o. Ẹ ti gbọ́ àwọn tó sponsor Boko Haram, àwọn olórí Nàìjíríà ni. Nígbà tó lọ capture 400 people tó sponsor Boko Haram, tí kéèsì yẹn tọ́lẹ̀ sweep it under the carpet tá gbọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan mọ́ nípa ẹ̀. Èèyàn mélòó ló gbọ́ rí wípé wọ́n capture èèyàn 400 tó sponsor Boko Haram? Ta ló gbọ́ rí? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ti gbọ́ ẹ bá mi kọ sí comment section. Èèyàn 400 people tó sponsor Boko Haram. Báyìí tún jẹ́ kó yí wa pé lára àwọn tó sponsor àwọn Boko Haram, ó wà ní Zenith House, ó wà nínú àwọn DSS, ó wà nínú House of Rep, ó wà ní Governor Office, ó wà ní Abuja. Bí wọ́n yẹn ṣe kálẹ̀ nìyẹn pé àwọn tó sponsor àwọn Boko Haram. Nítorí pé kí ni bí Boko Haram ṣe bá yé àwọn kan jẹ́ làwọn lówó sí. Àwọn òwò wípé owó táwọn ní àwọn máa fi sílẹ̀ láyé ní ìjọ kan àwọn máa lọ. Wọ́n wó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká jí ojú òní tiwa o. Yorùbá nation no going back. Mi ò fẹ́ kí fídíò egún jù. Fáfàlẹ́ yìí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ra àwọn wig. Ẹ ti ra àwọn wig tí mo display mi ti display ni wọ́n tán. Bó ṣe display wọn lọ but mi ní fẹ́ kí fídíò egún jù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màá stop ẹ̀ sí. So gbẹ̀yìn mọ́ mi bẹ̀yìn dáàdì mi tẹ́ bá like àwọn ẹ̀yin sister mi. Ìtẹ́ bá like nínú àwọn tí mo ti display. Ẹ screenshot ẹ send ẹ̀ sí bá lè wà easy fún mi láti wá jáde because ẹrù wig kú bí báyìí. Ó pọ̀ ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀. No be for mouth. Then ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá wá rí tẹ́ bá like nínú àwọn yẹn tẹ́ fẹ́ bá mi ra wig tẹ́ ní the wig tẹ́ lè lò fọ́dún. Ọdún ti dé tán beyond the 5 of next month. But tẹ́ bá ṣe ìrántí bó ṣe lè send ẹ̀ sí ó dẹ̀ bá dọ́dọ̀ yín 4 to 5 working days ni. Àwọn post office wa wọ́n tún ti lọ sí strike kọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú ni. But àwọn UPS àti FedEx àwọn ni mò ń lò sí. So àwọn yẹn 4 to 5 days ó máa débẹ̀. Tá bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ kó débẹ̀ within 2 days náà UPS máa gbé 2 days ó máa débẹ̀. Owó ẹ̀ kọ́ máa ṣe kíni ó kọ́ máa gbẹnu sókè ni. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. So gbogbo ọjà tí mo fẹ́ lọ sẹ́ẹ̀dì sí yìí kíní ni mo fẹ́ lò báyìí sí. Àwọn other ones yẹn ni mo fẹ́ lò fast ó máa débẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ fi mí lọ́kàn balẹ̀. So gbẹ̀yìn tẹ́ bá fẹ́ rajà ẹ tètè order ọjà yìí kí tètè bá yín send ẹ̀ ebi ó fọjẹ èèyàn falẹ̀. You pay money I send your market lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. O sanwó mi ò send ọjà o. Lady Peke bá mi keep ẹjọ́ mi ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mi ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ owó kọ́búlé láńtà mo fi ṣe business. Owó kọ́búlé láńtà ni mo fi ṣe business ẹni máa bú mi kó bú mi. Mi ò ṣe Lady Peke bá mi tọ́jú ọjà pamọ́ wọ́n ti kọ́ mi lóríṣiríṣi. Bí a bá tọ́jú ọjà pamọ́ fún yín tán tó bá yá ẹ̀ tó wá pè mí pẹ̀fẹ́ yẹn mọ́ ẹ ti gígùn mi. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ rà yẹn á ti pè wá ti sọ pé abó ti ta o torí mi ò fẹ́ disappoint èèyàn. So kò sáyè Lady Peke bá mi tọ́jú ọjà pamọ́. So ìtẹ́ bá ti fẹ́ ẹ pè mí ọjà mi ò wọ́n ọjà mi cheap bó tẹ̀ tó ti wá sanwó ọjà mi wálẹ̀ dáadáa ní sè. Mo ti jù wálẹ̀ dáadáa bó ṣe sales lọ́wọ́ lórí àwọn aṣọ. Bó ṣe sales fún aṣọ. Sales lọ lọ́wọ́ fún aṣọ. So ìtẹ́ bá fẹ́ ra iléyá promo ẹ pè mí. Lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ gbogbo ìtẹ́ bá fẹ́ ra àwọn spiritual items. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin dáàdì mọ́mì tẹ́ ní ìdojúkọ tẹ́ face ọ̀nà dín ní ríṣẹ́ ní rí ìkọ́ṣe ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ò tẹ̀ yé yín bọ́ bó ṣe ń lọ ẹ wá nídìí àwọn nǹkan spiritual items tẹ́ lè lò ẹ wo ó wà bíbá ẹni sẹpẹ́ oríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ spiritual items ni mo ní. I'm proud of my work. Yes, I'm proud of it nítorí pé kí ni ó dá mi lójú kò sí àdéhàdé níbẹ̀ ṣé ọṣẹ àdó lẹ fẹ́ àbọ̀ṣẹ àṣínà àbí ọṣẹ agọ́bi àbí àgbélépọ̀tà àbí ẹgbẹ́ àwọn àgbà àbí aláàánú kíákíá gbogbo ẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi I have them here. Kò sí àwọn kan tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fún spiritual tí ò sí bíbá yìí lóríṣiríṣi ni wọ́n òun nìyí ó kú bíbá èyí tẹ́ bá ti fẹ́ ni mo ní àwọn ọjà spiritual items lóríṣiríṣi ó wà ọṣẹ àrìnàkóre ọṣẹ ẹ̀bẹ̀ àwọn àgbà ọṣẹ ìyọnu ọṣẹ ìtúwọ́ ọṣẹ free from bondage gbogbo ẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣiríṣiríṣi and all my spiritual items dánwò lóbi ọkẹrẹ bọ pé rere ni Olúwa Jésù lọ́ba they are all what they are all working well tó bá jẹ́ ọṣẹ àwúre aṣínà náà ni ó wà available ẹ má bínú mo ní code mi lè jápátá lọ títí ẹ ṣàgbà bí bá ṣe rọ́bù sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀bùn ni ẹ̀bùn tó lódùmarè fún mi ni ẹ̀bùn tó lágbára tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn ọlọ́fíńdà náà lè fẹ́ àwọn ọlọ́fíńdà back to sender ó wà àwọn ọlọ́fíńdà back to sender gbogbo ọlọ́fíńdà tó ń lò fi ṣiṣẹ́ àdúrà kò sí ti Lady K òní mo ní 77 mo ní Holy Michael mo ní Miss Paris mo ní Divine Grace mo lọ́nà ńlá mo ní back to sender mo ní kí ló lóhun tún jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo pef ló wà bíbáyìí gbogbo lọ́fíńdà ni mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ wọ sí kò dẹ̀ síbi tí mi ò lè ṣípò ẹ̀ sí kò síbi tí mi ò ṣípò ọjà mi sí kò sí so gbogbo wọn pátápátá ló kún bíbáyìí láwọn big size Miss Paris àtẹlẹ́ ní ìkànnì small size tí mo ní gbogbo ètò ọkọ̀ yà big size big Miss Paris gan mo ní medium size tẹ́ bá fẹ́ medium size bákan náà òróró àánú òróró ìṣẹ́gun ṣẹ́gun òróró ìṣẹ́gun mi yìí ó ṣiṣẹ́ fún èyí tẹ́ bá dìtẹ́tì wípé ikọ́ wọ́ lára yín tẹ́lẹ̀ tí wípé no this is not ordinary this is spiritual something ṣẹ́gun òróró ìṣẹ́gun yẹn ṣáà máa fi pa ibẹ̀ ibi tẹ́ tí fìlì pé nǹkan wọ́ lára yín yẹn ìkan rìn lágọ̀ọ́ ara yín yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ tí wípé no eléyìí ti lọ́wọ́ ayé nínú kò ṣe ojú lásán ẹ máa fi pa ẹ ní gbùrú ẹ̀ mọ́ gbogbo agbára burúkú gbogbo ọ̀fà burúkú yẹn ó máa ṣe kíni ó máa tì jáde bákan náà àwọn nǹkan ọ̀fà tẹ́ lè lò ó wà àwọn iṣẹ́ ọ̀fà tẹ́ lè lò ó wà anything tẹ́ bá dictate pé ó ṣẹlẹ̀ tí kò dẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan tó dáa tẹ́ dẹ̀ need àwọn spiritual items I don't want to talk too much about it yes mo kàn máa gé ìpolówó yẹn fẹ́fẹ́fẹ́ ni so tẹ́ bá need ẹ pè mí ó wà available àdúrà gbogbo wa gba ogun ayé wa ṣẹ́ àárín àánú gbà ọ̀rọ̀ wa á dèyànjú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ tún jẹ́yàn tó máa ń gbàgbé nǹkan ẹ pè mí iṣẹ́ wà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá dìde ní iṣẹ́ spiritual àwọn iṣẹ́ bí wà tó jẹ́ pé I can't mention them on social media yes mi ò lè mention wọn lórí social media àwọn iṣẹ́ tó ní agbára dé so ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá dìde àwọn nǹkan spiritual items bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹ pè Lady K Ìfẹ́ Olúwa show bó de aṣọ yìí wípé ẹ máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ẹ máa ní testimony ayọ̀ because they are all working ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ máa lo àwọn nǹkan ìṣẹ́gun fún àwọn ọmọ yín náà ó wà nǹkan ìṣẹ́gun tẹ́lẹ̀ lè máa lò fún ọmọ because ilé ayé yìí wọ́n á lè àtakóró wọnú àdùnkò lè mọ́ wọnú ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ jẹ́ káwa mọ́ ọmọ títí wa wọ̀ ọ́ àdúrà wa gbà àdìfojú sunkún àwọn ọmọ wa àjẹrè àwọn ọmọ wa àwa táwa ní diaspora kọ́ lọ kó túbọ̀ ṣàánú wa ìrà òfẹ́ kòkòrò dénú kélédùmarè kó ṣe kíni kó ṣàánú fún wa ni so àwọn nǹkan tá a lè máa lò láti máa fi prevent ara wa àwọn nǹkan tá a lè lò láti fi prevent ara wa láti fi protect ara wa àwọn nǹkan tá a lè lò fún cause break gbogbo ẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi àwọn nǹkan ṣẹ́gun ẹ pè ní ó wà available abàlójọ́ jù bákan náà iléeṣẹ́ tí health natural herbal àwọn náà ti kó àwọn àgbo wọn ti kó dé sí ibi báyìí àgbo jẹ̀dí diabetes manpower owó nìyí ajẹ́bíidán tó confirm dáadáa ajẹ́bíidán tó confirm dáadáa people were rushing it ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá nídìí sí diabetes yẹn bí tẹ́ wọ́n pọ́n máa rush ẹ̀dún tó yẹ ẹ tètè pé ó kódà méjì mẹ́ta bọ́ ṣe kò nìyẹn I was like kí ló le tó báyìí so owó nìyí o ẹ tètè wá ra oògùn títí yín náà o manpower náà ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin dádì mi tẹ́ ti dàgbà tó ti fẹ́ máa cheat yín tó yẹ pé ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fọwọ́ pa ìdí lásán pa ọyàn lásán ẹ má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ ẹ wá lo àgbo manpower mo assure yín ẹ máa náàkì wọ ẹ máa jákì wọ báyìí àyà wa já ẹ̀rù àbáwọ̀ wá mọ̀ pé yes tọkùnrin là dá kò ṣe dúró wò so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn ẹ má bínú bí mo bá ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́ yẹn yín náà ti rí wípé kí ni Lady K tuntun ti dé wẹ́dà ni kélédùmarè ṣàánú wa ẹ má gbàgbé láti máa subscribe sí YouTube channel wa kẹ́lẹ̀ tán notification bell yìí a tún máa fi ayọ̀ àti àlàáfíà a tún máa fi pàdé Yorùbá Nation no going back ire o.